What's good, family? Y'all know we back with another one. Always pushing help, well, better understand the self. We got this debate. I want to check this out before I open up the chat. We had a great one last night, man. If y'all ain't see that one last night, I tried to chop up some more stuff, but we're gonna get into this, man. An Israelite brother is saying Black American people don't have no culture. So we're gonna watch this debate of to win it, hopefully they stay good, but we're gonna see what they talking about. Make sure y'all smash that like button, push me on the algorithm. Let's get
as I mentioned in the DM, what is the relevance to you that the Black peoples of America believe that they are the Hebrew Israelites, and how does that benefit them materially?
The most important part, I think, is what Black people, I think, suffer from is a moral compass that could actually benefit them, that can govern them. When I say benefit them, I'm not talking about what they have, just what they have access to, but what it restricts them from. So when it comes to so the first thing is identity. So when we identify as Israelites, that puts us in the Israelite world as far as, okay, if we're Israelites, what God do they have? What laws do they serve? What rules, what code of conduct? How do they conduct themselves? For us as Israelites, once we determine that gives us something to go with. Most Black people would say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm an atheist, but that's extremely subjective because you can stop being a Christian at any point. Christianity is not an identity. Muslim is not an identity. Atheist, none of those are identities. So being an Israelite for us is about that's your identity more than anything else.
What would it feel like to wake up on your terms, work from anywhere, and actually enjoy what you do?
Black American don't have no culture.
And I want to give the audience a heads up. I'll be cutting in at various points to speed up the conversation. We do have time constraints. So just a heads up to everyone that, I'll be chopping in periodically. So what is the relevance of saying that it's a religion that's guided by a book if you're suggesting that it's in your blood? If it's in your blood, then why do you even eat the book? Shouldn't it just be written in your DNA?
Yeah, that sounds like the Matrix, man. We don't live in a Matrix where you just get zapped with information. If that was the case, we would have never lost our identity as being an Israelite. So like any culture, any nation that has a culture, Chinese people that have a culture, they have an oral and written tradition of it. Every nation has an oral and written tradition. When we were brought over here as slaves, the oral lasted for some time. Like you can find, we have some people that their family line never forgot that they were Israelites. But then for the most part, that oral history was wiped away. They take away your ability to read or write. Now the written part is wiped away. And so it's not so much that you need it written down. Like even the Bible says the law will be written in our hearts. So I don't necessarily need the law I don't have to read it every day to follow it. But I had to get to that point. So that's the importance of understanding who you are, because Black people, for the most part in America, when it comes to their identity, they don't have none. They don't have no code to read. Just like anything, you have to learn.
Is that true? You folks on the internet say the most ludicrous things. You said Black people in America don't have any culture. Is that true?
Yeah, we have culture in the sense of when.
Now this is where it's crazy. When you go to saying Black people ain't have no culture, it's disrespectful. You feel me? It's disrespectful, bro. I mean, everybody can preach what they want to preach, but I'm gonna let them go. But check this out.
When you start talking about Black people with culture, you're gonna have to look at the roots of it all. So they're gonna talk about their music, which we have a musical culture. We have this culture. When Israelites are talking about culture, we talk about the God we serve, the laws we serve. The God that most Black people serve is a false God or a fake one. Like most people are
saying. You actually went away from what I asked you. That's a red herring. So I challenged your point about, you said Black people don't have culture. Right. So you're conceding, yes, Black people do have culture. You were exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I'm saying.
Okay, so you're sticking with the idea that Black people in America do not have culture.
No, I'm sticking with that. Because culture that Black people have, music is If you want to, okay, here's what, maybe this will help for those in your world understand. If you think music is a culture, by all means, Black people have it. If you think the soul food that comes from surviving slavery and what we had to eat is a culture, then yes, we have it. For us, because our culture is our actual identity and that was taken away from us, that's why we say, so we could be talking past each other.
We're not talking past each other. If you're not a linguist or a cultural anthropologist, you don't get to redefine words in general and in particular those that relate to culture. So an attempt to suggest that Black people in America don't have culture because they don't abide by your made up religion is fairly ludicrous and insulting, when in actual fact, the concept of culture has been defined quite clearly. It consists of some of the following things. This is not exhaustive: folkways, mores, religion, language, dialect, clothing, ways of being, food, holidays, and many other things. So you don't get to redefine it because it's out of line with the fake religion that you created.
What are the Black holidays?
Mm-hmm.
Kwanzaa. I don't celebrate it, but here's my point. With regards to, no, I don't celebrate it because I have a different culture.
Celebrating it.
1 second. No, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt, and don't fake laugh either. Don't fake laugh because I've seen it a million times, and don't interrupt. So here's my point.
Have you fake?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We already pointed out that culture had a definition before you and I started this conversation, so you don't get to create a new definition. Furthermore, I said it's a non-exhaustive list that consists of some of those things. And then you asked for an example. I gave you a very clear example. Furthermore, in my case, we practice Sasson culture. Culture is something that can be developed over time or it can be developed in a moment. For example, the fake religion that you follow, much of what it is was developed by Europeans meeting together and creating the religion. I yield the floor.
Thank you. I don't know if you muted me or not.
No, sir, I would never do that to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I did not mute you. If anyone in the chat was unable to hear the gentleman, please put a 2.
No, that's cool. Long as if you said you didn't do it, that's cool. By you reading your definition of culture, you prove we don't. That's why I asked you holidays. You say Kwanzaa. Most Black people celebrate Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all European religions. The Israelites do not celebrate or consort with anything European. So the fact that you say Kwanzaa makes you look foolish. It doesn't make me look foolish. That was a brother that started that.
No, impossible.
It definitely is possible because Kwanzaa was created by a brother in Chicago in the 70s. So then you're saying that Black people didn't have no culture of holidays until the 70s. Even Black History Month is European.
You're abusing language at this point. It's very disingenuous. So the fact of the matter is that culture does not hang on the singular point of having a holiday or not having a holiday.
Here's what
Furthermore,
go now. You interrupted me now, though. I
already warned everyone that I would be cutting into the conversation at various points.
I do know.
So again, you're being dishonest there. But I will yield the floor to you.
I'm not being dishonest. I just like to have fun too. I'm good at this. That's why the Israelites said you ain't talk to Cap. So now when you look up concept of culture,
I'm the best at this.
You're not.
The only reason that they think that you're doing anything is because they're 2 standard deviations below the mean in IQ, which is typical of religious people.
The fact that you think Black people have a culture, then by the definition, shared beliefs, values, practices, material items define a group, learn through socialization, express symbols, language, norms, rituals. Now you show me where Black people collectively have those things that define a culture, and then I'll show you where the Israelites, which is not a made-up religion, is not even a religion. In a religion, anybody can be that religion. For Israelites, you have to be an Israelite to be an Israelite. So you can't call us a religion. So a white person can't be an Israelite, but a white person, African, Chinese, and Arab can all be Christian or Muslim or anything else. But you cannot be that. Why? Because our culture prohibits that. That's the difference between us and whatever it is. You said you follow Sasson.
You're not speaking of a culture. One moment. You're confusing terms. The problem is that you're doing a very poor job with diction, and as a result, you're mixing in the concept of ethnicity, culture, and race. You're suggesting that race is a biological reality. You see, and another group cannot take on a biological reality, but you're meshing that up with ethnicity and religion. That's the problem here. So you need to pull those things apart. So first off, let me show you how messy what you're talking about is. Would you be so kind as to define the racial features that clarify who is a Hebrew? I'm going to see if I can get a pen. So I got a pen here.
You don't even need a pen because you sound more European the more you talk. You see how you just said...
No. Don't run. I'm going to get a pen. Don't run.
Wait,
go ahead.
Say that. I said you don't need a pen. I said you sound...
No, I'm going to take this and write this down. What are the racial features that define the Hebrew Israelite?
Write this down. Marquette is extremely European and Eurocentric.
Don't run. What are the features that define a Hebrew Israelite? You don't know who you are? I thought you know who you are.
But why are you interrupting? Who's running from the question? I want you to
answer it.
I just want you to write these things down. Marquette is Eurocentric in his thought process because according to the Bible, it does not say if you have a big nose, a big head, hair, that makes you an Israelite. It doesn't say that. In the Bible, it says if you are the seed of the Israelites, you're an Israelite. Only Eurocentric Europeans and those that follow them think that you're who you are by the size of your head, the size of your feet, your skin tone, your complexion. Those are all Eurocentric ideas. Those are not Israelite ideas. That's not. Can you show so I've answered your question on my camera.
Okay. No, you've not answered the question. So if you don't mind, I'd like to make sure that we can pin it down. No, 1 second. I'd like to make sure we can pin it down. So I asked you, because you've defined it as a racial group. So what I'm asking you is to define the things that are observable in that racial group, because you've stated that you are unlike other groups. Right. So being that you're unlike other groups, tell me how I might recognize you. And I'll give you an example since you seem to be misunderstanding. Right. If I were to say that someone is Samoan, I might be able to give you some metrics that define them as such. If I say that someone belongs to the Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid category, I can give you some specifics. So I'm asking you, you're a Hebrew Israelite. What are the racial features of the Hebrew so that we can identify some similarities which constitute a group belonging? I'll yield the floor. I'm going to write down what are the similarities that consist of your group.
My favorite phrases is listening is an art. You use the word race. I use more so the word ethnicity. So ethnically speaking, you are the seed of your father. So example, we would see the world would see Bob Marley as a black man. We would see Bob Marley as a white man because of who his father is. So now when we have talking points, when we have general talking points, what you're saying, we'll say, well, black people look like this generally.
No,
black people have kinky hair generally. But Africans also have kinky hair, and we're not African either. So we don't go by Darwinism. We don't go by Europe.
This man just said Bob Marley is a white man.
Eurocentric thoughts and ideologies and their beliefs. We go by the seed of your father. And so you identify Israelites by the laws they keep. You might see them with fringes. You might see women dressed a certain way. You might see the feast days we keep.
So now you're talking about behaviors. So you keep running. You'll just define something and then I'll assert that that's the wrong definition. And then you'll run on to something else.
So for example, Marquette, is your father a so-called...
No, we don't have to run to that. What are the racial features of the Hebrew Israelites so that I can write it down?
And read where that's an identifier for Israelites in the Bible. So we don't go by racial features. That's why I use Bob Marley as an example. Bob Marley has a black mother.
Okay, so I want to make sure real quick. I just want to make sure we're understanding. So you're saying you do not go by racial features, which is to say biological markers. Is that correct?
No, you're saying biological markers.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm going to explain. What I'm saying by racial features, when people see Bob Marley, they call him black. Whenever we say Bob Marley is a white man, they say you're full of crap. Because when I look at Bob Marley, what does he have? Black features or black skin tone. But I
heard that the first time. You don't have to repeat it. I'm asking you, what are the racial features of the Hebrew Israelites? If you're saying there are none, just say that and I'll write it down. But it seems as though you're tap dancing. Are there racial features or are there no racial features of the Hebrew Israelites? And when we say race, we're talking about that which is biological. I yield the floor. Which is it?
Before I answer again, can you give me
just answer? You don't have to preface it.
No, I do want to preface it. When you say racial features, can you tell me what you're saying the racial features are?
Don't answer a question with a question. The problem is that you are in a lack of knowledge, and now having been exposed, you're now questioning me. You see, instead of saying, I don't know, it's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I don't know. I asked you what you are, what your group is, and you don't know. Just say you don't know.
So here's why I answer the way I answer.
No, you didn't answer. You asked a question. You didn't answer. You asked a question. That makes it a response, not an answer. Again, I'm a master of language. So please be accurate.
Though, because I asked you a question the third time, you didn't understand the answer. So I have to dumb it down for you. That's the difference.
What are the chances that you have to dumb something down? Now, what are the racial features of the Hebrew Israelites?
It's
fundamental.
There is no set racial features for Israelites. There is no identifier where if they got this nose, they're an Israelite. They got this complexion, they're an Israelite. If they got this color eyes, they're an Israelite. That's Eurocentric teaching that you're doing. That's
all. How's that Eurocentric?
Because Eurocentric would say if their brain is this size, they're like this.
Wait, how's that Eurocentric?
Okay, tell me the black people that came up with this concept.
Stop asking me questions. I'm asking you, how is that Eurocentric?
That's what a debate is. A debate is asking.
Yes, but it's your term. So you have to define your term. It's not my term, your term. So I'm asking you, how is it Eurocentric?
Because the concept of identifying people by racial markers was started by Europeans. So my counter is to show me the black people that created this. If you look this way, it's because you come from this or because you come from that. That's my counter question. Go ahead.
You have a counter question to me asking you to define a term that you used?
Don't be confused. I answered the question. Now answer my question.
Do you understand my point? You have a counter question to you defining a term that you used.
But why you can't answer? You're the one running now.
No, I'm pointing out to you what you're doing. It's ludicrous.
Answer.
You used a term.
But can you answer?
And then I said define it. And now you're giving a counter question. Defining a term is not an argument. That's number one. Defining a term is not an argument. It's just making sure that we're sharing a lexicon to have the conversation. That's number one. Now, number two, let me explain something. Number two, there's certain things that you cannot say that the Europeans discovered it the Europeans created it or the Arabs created it. No, there's some things that are immutable truths. So, for example, if you were to look at the Fulani versus, say, the Zulu or the Xhosa, you can see racial differences, even if you look at the Bushmen. And these are subcategories of race, meaning that they have common features. Don't interrupt now. You asked me a question. Don't interrupt now.
You're not answering.
You don't have to interrupt. You asked me a question. So the point I'm making is that that's not a Eurocentric view. That's an obvious biological reality that there are different features based on peoples originating in different lands. So it's actually quite ludicrous to claim it's Eurocentric. Now, here's the even funnier thing for someone like you. You would claim that it's Eurocentric, but everything based on your religion, which is a fake false religion, as all the other ones are as well, all of that comes from Europe. In fact, the language that you read it in is a European language.
Is that a question?
So everything that you're going to share is fundamentally Eurocentric. So I find it ironic that you're challenging me with the very thing that you're victim of.
Salute to Neil.
No, I'm not. Because of different.
Yeah, you use the King James Version Bible. King James was a European king.
King James was
You read the book in English, which is a European language.
King James was a white man, though. King James was not a white European.
I said King James was a European king.
But he was not a white man. He was a white man.
I did not say that. Stay focused. I said King James was a European king.
But he also—
Is that correct or incorrect?
He also was a Jacobite. His throne built like King James.
Here's another piece. One moment. Here's another piece.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're kind of fading out a little bit. Is internet working?
Yeah, you have froze, actually.
He running.
You look
in the chat. If either of us go out in the chat, would you guys let us know who it is, just so that we can figure out how to work through the any of the technical issues? Now, here's my challenge with a lot of you folks who are claiming to be religious. I don't even think you guys believe in this nonsense, to be honest with you. But here's the challenge to you. Are you fluent in Aramaic?
No, I'm not fluent in Aramaic.
Fair enough.
Hebrew.
Are you fluent in Greek?
No.
Are you fluent in Hebrew?
No.
All right, you want to make money in real estate? Here's how you take over a house with no money down, no credit check, and no job.
Okay. How much can you believe in this religion if you've not even taken out the time to make a study of these languages? Because the King James Version, which is what you guys rely on, is merely a translation of the manuscripts that come from these languages. So it's like, if you believe this thing is life or death and it's of God, you've not even taken out the time to actually try to study to get a better understanding?
Well, that's the different question. The latter part of that is a different question. So on the Eurocentric part, I just want to reiterate again, King James was a brother, so he wasn't a white European. So when we say Euro,
you said that 4 times, but I never objected to that. I said he's a European king, and then you ignored that.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so touchy when I just correct your mistakes. So now
what was the mistake?
When you thought King James was white, and so
I never said he was white. I said he was a European king, which is a fact.
You're clean.
So you're lying. You have to be honest.
No, and then you
got to be honest.
I didn't say he was white. I said he was a European. And
that's a fact.
But everybody knew
he's a European king.
European understanding that he was white. So now when they
no, you have to stop lying. You have to stop lying. He was king of what country?
When it comes to the Hebrew,
he was a king of what country?
He was a king of 2 kings. He was a king of Scotland and a king of England.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Are those European countries?
Yes, but is he a white European?
Okay, so he was a European king. Don't play word games because it makes you look disingenuous. You're playing word games.
Like my audience
playing word games here. No one respects that.
You know the semantic wiggle that you
was King James a Hebrew?
Yes.
Okay, King James is a Hebrew. Okay, fantastic. Is he also a European king?
He called himself a Jacobite. So he was.
Is he also a European king?
He called us. I know you don't know that history, so I can educate.
I'm curious. Is he also a European king?
He would be considered a European king because he was in.
Okay, fantastic. So now you just clarified that I was speaking accurately. Now let's get to the real point. The question that I asked you is, if you're so deep in your religion, why is it that you've not taken out the time
open up the chat
to study Greek, which is a European language, mind you, to study Aramaic, or to study Hebrew? If you actually believe this nonsense, why haven't you studied it?
Yeah. Well,
now he originally said black people ain't got no culture, and that's what's going viral right now on the internet with FBA. You know, people putting our culture into whatever. But yeah, he's an Israelite. But yeah, we're gonna get to some politics. Salute to everybody. He said, don't listen to no fools. Yeah, I think he remind me of SETI too. SETI General. They probably on the same thing. Is he down with SETI? Marcus, I know somebody, Markeith, said he was a general. I seen a general attached to his name. So he may be down with SETI. He looked like SETI. He looked like another version of SETI, but I want to get into this immigration politics, man. Birthright, citizenship. But yeah, we do got a culture. But let's get it. Let me pull this up. Salute to everybody who signed that petition, man. I know this is just the first step. We can't do that. We can't do nothing, man. Salute to everybody who, stood on business. But let's get it, man. Black politicians, what are they doing?
The group of alders who are determined to only pass this budget with going after the debt of working people and poor people, I'm encouraging them to look at other means of revenue.
Your plan would hire more attorneys to go after debt.
Yeah.
The debt. So the question is, how would your attorneys determine whose debt to go after? By race, by zip code? And this just looks like probably another discrimination lawsuit that will be filed against the city if your plan is actually goes through.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, your boy, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, has been officially rebuked by his own city council. He went hard in the paint, y'all, to try to get big employers in his state to pony up money for every employee that they hired. He wanted to charge them basically an employee tax or employment tax, better yet. He wanted to make them pay money to bring employment to Chicago, which many people have rightly pointed out, myself included.
That's what FBA need. We need, if you're doing anything, we need a tax, FBA tax for the indigenous people. But not Brandon. Yeah, man, Brandon got something going on. Brandon is the male version of Jasmine Crockett right now.
It's kind of dumb. Chicago needs more employment, not less. And so the city council did an end around and they passed their own budget. It's done, y'all. But now we have to see if he's going to sign it. Now, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago has said he feels that at least one provision of the budget is immoral because it is going to allow outside collection agencies to collect debts against Chicagoans who owe those debts. And he says, hey, people who don't have money, it's immoral for debt collectors to collect debts against people who don't have any money. So you're going to hear him say that today. But either way, the budget was passed even over his objection. So he took that loss, y'all. He has to take that on the chin. Now we have to wait to see if he's going to sign it or veto it, or if it looks like he wants to force more negotiations. But as of now, y'all, the budget has been passed. His budget hasn't even been voted on. So that's another L for him. And he was called out on this by William Kelly, you know, his freak.
So the immigration ain't going, we getting all of them to paint Crook County. Listen, he's another big immigration guy. He was fighting for immigration, bro. So it's good to see the people ain't locking it, you know. But Minnesota is the one where it don't look as good because those people there, let me show y'all that. Those people there don't seem like they doing anything to the Somalian people. Check this out. But once we get them out of here,
business name, say hello to Taylor Brands. Just go to their site, enter your LLC state, choose your business name, answer a few questions.
Democrat Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal recently claimed.
My bad. Here, go right here, y'all. But we want people fired. Check this out. Shout out to Ray's Head, man, for sending me this.
Let's keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, thank y'all for watching this channel, y'all. I just want to give all of our viewers, all of our new and seasoned viewers a shout out. Y'all have helped this channel grow tremendously. It's the holidays. I wish I could give all of y'all a hug. I really appreciate it. Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about the great state of Minnesota and the fraud woes that they see that just will not stop, y'all. In a recent interview, your boy, you know who he is, Governor Walz of that state. He was asked, do you think that there are more fraud schemes to be discovered yet? And he said, oh, yeah, there's more. There's more. And he was right, y'all, because they're discovering more. New people are going to prison. New people are being locked up. And the numbers keep on climbing. Originally, it was 250 million. Then it was 350 million. Then it was $1 billion. Then it was $8 billion. And now some people are estimating up to $9 billion was siphoned out of Minnesota. Way too much of that money sent overseas, uncollectible, sent to other countries where the United States practically has no ability to go after it. And in the midst of it all, people are starting to call for Tim Walz at a minimum at a minimum to fire some people. Like, who's going to lose their job over this? At a maximum for him to lose his job. And some people out there are even saying that people need, I'm talking about governmental officials, that they need to go to jail over this, y'all. So today we're going to take a look at yet another person who has been found guilty of stealing over $14 million. She's released, y'all. She's probably going to be sentenced to jail, but in the meantime, she's free. Can you believe that? And 6 other people arrested as this fraud scandal continues to grow, y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. But before we do, y'all, for our YouTube viewers, we are running a super sale on our paralegal certificate program. Normally $1,999. If you click the link in the description, you can enroll. Y'all, this will be a perfect away as a Christmas gift, y'all. And now let's go ahead and jump into the story. Y'all, first, I want to talk about your girl, Ilhan Omar. This is just a brief update, y'all. On X, they are saying that when she got naturalized, she actually faked her age as having been 17 instead of 18. And that if she had been actually 18 when she was naturalized under her father, she may not have qualified. Also, they're looking into her father's documents. Y'all, I don't know what's going to come out of this, but I just wanted to go on record, y'all. You know, we'll follow up if there's any there. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the main story.
Today, the U.S. Attorney's Office netted a guilty plea from a defendant who admitted to her role in a combination of fraud schemes.
So let's bring in Fox 9's Paul Bloom now with a closer look at her particular case. And Paul, this woman told a federal judge how she defrauded multiple programs out of millions of taxpayer dollars. So explain this case.
Yeah. Sure thing, Kelsey. Her name, Asha Hassan. You may remember the name. She was the very first defendant charged with defrauding Minnesota's publicly funded autism care program. We were at the U.S. District Courthouse this morning as she entered her guilty plea on a single count of wire fraud.
Hey, we got no comments today. Asha, anything you want to say?
She and her attorneys here would not comment on the case, but I do want to break it down for you. Hassan owned a business here known as Smart Therapy LLC. She pleaded guilty in 2 schemes, not just the autism care or EIDBI program, but also she admitted her role in the massive Feeding Our Future child nutrition fraud, in total taking in some $14 million in Medicaid funds, another $450,000 supposedly earmarked to feed hungry children. Prosecutors point out she sent hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this country to Kenya.
So y'all see what they doing? She sent 100,000 to Kenya. That's crazy. That's why we got to get them up out of here. She received $14 million in medical and Medicaid funds and $450,000 federal child nutrition program funds. So now y'all see Ilhan Omar out there feeding people. She may got something going on with it. If it was us, they would have watched every dollar. We wouldn't have got that far.
To purchase real estate in her own name.
So, Paul, any idea how many of the charged defendants were involved in multiple schemes like Hassan?
Great question, Kelsey. The U.S. Attorney's Office mentioned about 24 or so Feeding Our Future defendants who were also receiving funding for their supposed autism clinics. And that's how these folks like Hassan got caught. In Hassan's case, her guilty plea includes restitution of nearly $16 million that she owes to the United States government. Hassan's guilty plea includes a potential prison sentence of about 70 to 87 months for somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 8 years behind bars. The judge has the ultimate say. He did allow Ms. Hassan to remain free and out of custody until she is formally sentenced coming up at a later date. Live news for you. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
So, y'all, this autism scheme is just... This is just, I mean, Feeding Our Future, where you're making up fake children and acting as if you're feeding them to still hundreds of millions of dollars is terrible. But the autism thing worked like this. They were going to...
They acting like they feeding 10,000 people today. Somebody in the chat was like, they feeding 10,000 people today. Man, they probably feeding 100 people. They had food programming which restaurants were cooking the books. I'm saying 40.
The parents of kids who didn't have autism, and they were saying, hey, we're going to put your child in this autism program, act as if they have autism, and we'll give you a kickback when we get paid for the autism treatment, y'all. That was the scheme. And we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars that was stolen like that. I mean, so I guess on some level, it just feels heartless, because one, it's outright stealing. Two, you have to act like your child is disabled. And I think some of the parents were probably tricked, frankly, y'all, but some of them weren't. And the people perpetrating the fraud weren't. And then three, that's money that didn't go to actual people who needed it.
Prosecutors have filed charges against 6 people today who they accuse of defrauding child nutrition, autism, and housing stability programs.
But their fraud investigations also extended to a new Medicaid program here in Minnesota today. Fox 9's Corin Hoggart is live at the federal courthouse in Minneapolis. Corin, prosecutors sort of put a number on the amount of fraud, and it was shocking.
Yeah, Randy and Kelsey, the investigators are typically shy about making estimates here, but the number getting floated out there today was $9 billion. Now, they haven't proved anywhere near that amount yet, but they have charged 92 people in those 3 programs, and now the investigation is extending into new programs as well.
That's what I'm saying. We don't got nobody doing that. We ain't
not only costing them tons of money, but tons of time as well. Now, this is why we built our deal calculator, trusted and used by over
people.
FBI agents carried out boxes of files from Ultimate Home Health Services in Bloomington Thursday morning. The state suspended its license this month after discovering alleged fraud in its Integrated Community Supports Program, or ICS. The door is broken there, and federal prosecutors say Minnesota's entire Medicaid program seems broken.
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud.
Industrial scale fraud, y'all, that even includes, you're going to see here shortly, something like fraud tourism, y'all. People from other states like, hey, you want to take a trip to Minnesota? We can see all the lakes. We might be able to see some snow. We can see the Twin Cities. Maybe get in a baseball game. Oh, yeah, and we can also commit some fraud.
Prosecutors charged 6 people with fraud Thursday, but none yet in ICS. They say Minnesota did a bad job of creating guardrails, so the state became a target for fraud, even by people from out of state. For the first time, they charged 2 men accused of fraud tourism, coming from Philadelphia, setting up shell businesses, then billing Minnesota from back home. In all, the state has declared 14 programs as high risk, and those programs have cost $18 billion since 2018. So how much of that is fraud?
That's the $18 billion question. The answer is far too much.
So far, prosecutors have proved about $350 million in fraud, but they say that's just the tip of the iceberg. Dang. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said a significant portion of the $18 billion could be fraudulent.
When I say a significant amount, I'm talking on the order of half or more, but we'll see. When I look at the claims data and the providers, I see more red flags than I see legitimate providers.
And now, y'all, predictably, Minnesotans are starting to say, all right, somebody's got to get fired for this. Somebody has to take accountability for this. Tim Walz is running for re-election. And y'all, honestly, I think that the Republican Party they're trying to capitalize on this, but I feel like they are missing an opportunity where people, what do you hear so much in the news nowadays? You hear that everything costs too much. You hear that people don't make enough money. You hear that people are hurting. That's one of the main things you'll hear if you listen to the news talking about the economy in particular. People are hurting. You hear affordability. Mom Donnie was able to win his mayorship in New York with that slogan, like it's just affordability. So the Republican side has this opportunity to bring so many of their different platforms together in one, which is to say things are unaffordable because the help that we've been trying to give people has been.
That food do look like soul food, right? I thought I seen some mac and cheese. Could have sworn I seen that. I don't know. Maybe I just want some mac and cheese.
Stolen. A bombshell statement about fraud in Minnesota. Today, federal prosecutors said it could top $9 billion. And tonight, taxpayers are voicing outrage. Alex Jokic joins us live with the plan now forming on a grassroots level. Alex?
Yeah, Kevin, I saw it on my Nextdoor app. A letter writing campaign is just getting started with Minnesotans rallying together to ask the same very pointed questions that we've also been asking for months now.
These are my lovely stockings.
From a nurse in Woodbury.
I am liberal politically.
To a retired airport worker.
Oh, I'm a Republican.
Minnesotans on both sides of the aisle.
We are all darn disgusted. We are furious.
Are sick and tired of hearing about fraud in state-run programs for food, housing, and disability services. Now banding together through social media. This post urging people to write letters to state agencies asking questions like which specific officials and managers have been disciplined, reassigned, or removed because of documented oversight failures.
Who's going to be fired for this? Who's going to take responsibility and stop passing the buck?
Even liberal-minded people are open to this because they're seeing dozens and dozens of people be arrested, and this is just one state. So the Republicans are missing a huge opportunity to tie affordability to fraud. They also bring in the immigrant situation with that. I think that's dicey. If you want to win votes, you tie affordability to fraud. Remember when Elon Musk went in, he created Doge, people were resistant, but now people are more open to that concept.
In our KSTP fraud special 2 months ago, Governor Walz said this.
So look, we do have new leadership over there. People have been removed.
We know the previous Education and Human Services commissioners both stepped down, and an assistant commissioner at DHS also.
What the heck? I don't know. Jody Hartstein looked like some male features right there, but this them right here, man. They get in the back end. They are on the take too. Yeah, man. They gotta get some on the back end. They gotta get the back end. It'll be crazy. You know, they probably getting the hundreds of millions.
Left his post, but the reasons for all those departures was never clear. So today we asked those state agencies again, how many people have been removed, reassigned, disciplined for all of these failures related to fraud?
This went on for years. Were they all asleep? Why weren't those warning bells going off?
And Minnesotans hope their mailings will also send a strong message.
When you've got thousands of people writing in stating, hey, this has to be fixed, then somebody will fix it.
So I think,
if y'all keep letting them do it, ain't nobody gonna fix it. You put the snow vultures. They are not. They gonna keep letting people get away with it. People, yeah, she does look very mannish. Look like a little scammy to me. Yeah, I don't know. That was me though, but I'm glad y'all peeped that too. But yeah, that's who behind the whole thing. The Snow. Go back to the Snow. Like, that look weird, bro. They ain't got a buddy here on here yet. Let's see him. Ed Grumadal. But yeah, these are the people y'all they seeing behind it. Yeah, she looks very mannish. Yeah, it's getting crazy out here, but we standing on the business. We gonna stand on the business. But I want to get my boy on here. Been going in. I never reviewed one of his videos, but I'm gonna check out Fall Guys. Trying to say the Fall Guys. Hey, you might be right. You may be on to something. You might be on to something. See what Tyreek talking about, man. It's the first time we finna review one of Tyreek. If I could find it. Oh, y'all, let me get that. Pull up the Justice website link. What Justice website link? Oh, you mean the foundation? We ain't talking about the foundation of Black America. Carleon, which one you talking about? What link? The Black Caucus been doing fraud without the white vote. Oh yeah. But I'm sure them people ain't just let them just get away, just fraud and not get no money. Posted above. Hold on, let me see what you talking about now. You said you posted above. Let me see. Carleon, what you got for us? I don't see no website link. You gotta post it again. You gotta post it again. Yeah, Chicago and Minnesota is corrupt. For real. Let me pull that.
Well, we've always looked out for each other as foundational Black American men and women. That gender war stuff, we've been telling people for years, those were outsiders bringing that shit to us.
Yo.
For a long time, family, we've been telling people all that gender war nonsense, that Black gender war stuff, the Black man ain't shit, and the Black woman ain't. These were outsiders, people who were not of our lineage doing that. And some people are revealing that now on social media. You see these little janky accounts talking about, yeah, the Black man ain't shit. Us Black women need to go get.
So y'all know with that X website, they had found a lot of people that was from other countries that was talking about Black American business. Damn, I ain't even pull that up. Posted above. No, I ain't see it. Yeah, they found out through X that a lot of those accounts where they was talking about anything about Black people, they wasn't even from. If anyone think the CBC is not being watched, need to ask Clarence Thomas, Ben Johnson about how he got snitched on. Dang. I may gotta look into that then and drop on that. Yep, propaganda trolls. That's what they be doing. Over there, they be like, and you be thinking, why they be talking about Black American business so much, but they fear Black love. Yep, they be trying to divide us, man. That's crazy. Somebody paying for that too. They paying for that marketing. They paying for people to do that. So you know that's our enemy, marketing that. Salute. Black Boy Wonder, man, from the sandbox. Dirty right now. Yeah, the new location feature. I've been blocking like crazy. Blocked over 130 others on my Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is, I'm gonna pull some of it up, but they definitely doing that to us. The boy Black Boy Wonder. Where you out of right now, Black Boy Wonder, man? What country you in right now? My boy been moving around the world. Want to know where you at now? Holding it down, the FBA outside the country. I'm in the UK, okay. Shout out to my bro, man. Yeah, UK mashing on. How they This shit make us want to love each other harder since it's such a problem for them. Yeah, man, we gonna have to Milli Vanilli. Yeah, it's a black gender war, man. We can't get caught up in it though. But it's being pushed. They paying for a lot of marketing, bro. Like it is what it is, but you know, you can't fall victim to it. You cannot fall victim to it. Cannot fall victim to it. But yeah, man, them last couple of debates we've been having been on point. He said sandbox for real. And boy, all the way out there in the UK. In moderation, of course. What you mean in moderation, of course? Y'all check this out. Let me pull this up. But yeah, it's the gender wars is crazy right now. But I don't know Elon Musk's angle at letting us see all of that. I think that benefited us a lot. In my opinion, though. But I'm gonna pull up on some of this FBA media. Do y'all remember when old Big Mike? Hey, I got to charge the battery. What Big Mike you talking about? Do y'all remember when old Big Mike Obama started all this single ladies that had Beyonce performing that song every month? 2 married women promote single and independent women. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was the beginning of it. But yeah, that was the beginning of it. Now, y'all notice how the FBA panel's been? Check this out. You know how it's always somebody in every time we having a panel and they jumping in. This ain't nothing new. This is what people are saying that they're experiencing too. Check this out. That was an agenda. Check this out.
Glad the word is getting around. Watch this.
But on my live, I said that so far, 3 African nurses who have sat on FBA panels have had their jobs called and they're complaining of harassment. And they said I was lying, right?
Talking about Africa, they were putting different video, children were involved in all those things. Do you know I went and opened my mouth at the time? That was my real age, my real name, first name, last name. Do you know the people went and searched me, found my husband on IG, found my job? Do you know the people that went and they pulled me out my unit to investigate me because they say I was on here discriminating against AA? So it was you? I'm telling you, yeah. It was you? That was me. That's how I managed to come up here and change everything around. They put me out my unit, put me on an investigation, and they said I have a problem with AA people. And I'm supposed to be helping everybody. I'm supposed to be working for everybody. This is what I mean. So this is not just about this app. It's beyond this app, my sister. This is no joke.
So yeah, if you think you come to this land and you think you call people slaves, you think you can denigrate people, you think you can tell people they have no culture, customs, traditions, and you think that you're safe by spreading hate, we're gonna let you know we on your heels. We are on your heels. You're not gonna be able to come here and be able to talk, say the most nasty, vile, disgusting, root chakra, demonic things, and think you're gonna be okay. So now we're glad that you tiptoeing on your toes. We're glad that you understand. Stop being very disrespectful and talking down on other people, right? So we're glad you guys are finally getting the message. Hopefully you guys straighten up. Hopefully you guys remove the hate from your heart. And hopefully you guys get it together. With that being said, y'all peace a lot, your key. Y'all be safe.
You know, y'all seen the lady got a whole lady probably got deported for talking Talk about the people. Shout out to Nicole B, man, holding it down. But yeah, man, it's a new day and age, man. You know, it's getting real. It's getting real FBA-ish right here. Definitely cannot disrespect FBA and think we want you in the hospital, nursing homes, taking care of us. Can you imagine? We can show them better than we can tell them. Real, y'all. They better stop all that. FBA be doing extensive research, man. They know that too. They do real research. Let's check out another one. Standing on the business.
This is the only one that I have seen myself. This is a king of America, probably the first king to ever invade Europe. Yeah, the Moors weren't the only ones. They didn't all come from Africa. They also came from this part of the world. One of the 3 Tartarian kings was killed. Were they all related? Well, are you ready for this? It's going to get even crazier. I also wanted to show this. There is a lot of disinformation online. This is another one of the original Tartarians, one of the original Moorish Tartarians when they were combined, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt.
Now, this
is the only one that I have seen myself. This is a king of America, probably the first king to ever invade Europe.
Now, y'all heard what he said now? They don't talk about none of the stuff that was done here. Black presidents before George, King of America. Yeah, I mean, I heard of him. I heard of him before, but you know, to know that he's from America. But I heard of the name. So this like more evidence proving our point. Like it was black kings and people doing it the biggest right here. America was beautiful before they came. Dang, you don't see the gold chains and you don't see how. Okay, me too. I've been looking into it. Crazy deep stuff. For real. But now, but they actually know. Like, we went, you know, people from America went over there to Europe and went over to Egypt. If our claims were false, no one would pay us any attention, but we got all the attention. Yeah. That's why it's going viral right now. Like, everybody like, man, this is crazy. Have you seen the old world fires? No, I haven't seen it. But, you know, more of our proof, more of our information coming out. Taught them how to bathe, educated. But look into the world fairs. Yeah, how were they burnt? That's what they doing now. They burning all of our, like, our history, our sculpts, you know, our, like, sculptures and stuff like that. They burning it down. But FBA standing on business.
The black man is the original man. Nobody comes before us. Africa is the motherland.
And we must not forget that. Let us show love to those who are still there.
Nubian ancestors were the custodians, protectors, preservers, and teachers of everything good that has been associated with Kemet. We are the Moors and have the keys to the origins of man. Never let someone convince you otherwise. They are an Edomite, and so are you if you disagree. Esau is their origin, and they hate that to be the case. Read the next scripture.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou...
They haven't seen the black and white pictures of black Indians.
Right. We were already here. It's not like we're having.
Yeah, they trying to clown us though. They trying to play with our top. Started with a trying to erase our history. They don't tell us about no kings and stuff that was from here. Like they coming out with that movie, some black man from America is coming out with a movie with Mansa Musa. But yeah, y'all, this FBA going viral right now. Started with the libraries and churches. FBA is really going viral right now, I guess, with the delineation. You know, everybody want to get close to the people who got that, you know, that real birthright citizenship. How they burned it down. But they making a decision on that birthright citizenship, that's gonna shake the world up. That's really gonna have more people on FBA. Yeah. Shout out to Maisel. That was in Chicago, the link I shared. Where you shared it at? Well, maybe it's booting y'all links when you put a link in here, because I don't see no link that nobody putting on here. But yeah, we definitely I gotta look more into that. Anyways, from America.
And no matter how long you've been in the Americas or anywhere in the world, we came here from Africa. And anyone who wants to foolishly give up the identity of their grandmothers and
ain't none of our grandmothers and none of that never was there. What he put? This is kind of yeah. When y'all put the links in there, I think you got to do it in the private chat, because I don't think they let y'all put the links and stuff. This trader, yeah, he a trader, man. He trying to look how he trying to force us to do it.
grandfathers and their great parents. I feel sad for you because slavery and colonialism have impacted you in a greater way than we even think. And yet all of us have been impacted by it. But we need to be clear. Don't try to misuse me, Professor James Small. I do not support your backwards, ignorance, foolish point of view about the family and the race. We are one African people. We will die as one African people, or we will live eternally as one African people.
Man, do y'all hear this? He is still pleading us on this. They sold us, fool. Man, this dude here. This dude here crazy.
What is the ultimate benefit of dividing? We understand what you're saying about the person who need unity. They benefit more than the person who doesn't need in the unity in the unification. But what is the benefit of division? Separated among black people.
So the thing about division is that we see it all the time in other cultures, and everybody else practice it. We got groups in Africa who practice it, and everybody has a fine line where they respect each other's culture and history. You got the Asians, the Japanese, and Chinese. They're in Asia together, but you better not call it Asian Japanese. You better not do that. See what I'm saying? And they can respect each other's culture. They don't go around waving their flags. A Japanese wouldn't dare about go to a Chinese city and wave their flags over there. Same thing with the DR and Haiti. They wouldn't dare. The Haitians wouldn't dare go to the DR, wave their flag over. They know exactly what would happen. So in America, what we figured out is that, you know, Black Americans, we first had this joint unity. We was the first one to promote that. Even though y'all don't believe in that shit. Y'all don't. You don't. So we was the first one to say, man, we need all blacks to come in here, and we need more people who look like us to support our cause. But you know what happened when we did it? Once y'all got here and y'all grew in numbers and kept growing, we started seeing the erasure in in the competition with Black Americans instead of coming together. We have Bahamians in Miami saying that they built Miami, don't want to give no credit to Black Americans. We got Haitians in Miami saying that they're cool now because of them, and the culture is theirs. We got people in New York saying, hold on, I'm not done yet. We got people in New York saying immigrants built New York, just disregarding the Black Americans who was in New York. We have Jamaicans and Indians running the office telling Black Americans we don't deserve reparations. Why are you speaking on our lineage and things that go to? We got a lot of stuff going on that just shows the opposite of what you're trying to say that I'm doing that's wrong, when you're the first one who showed me that you're different. So my question is, how have we benefited from you, period, from being here since 1965? What have you done?
I have a question.
Exactly.
I ain't throw your boy no bands. I had to run my own. My little partner catch your bodies. He get.
I'm pulling up that article. I'm pulling up that article right now. I ain't never seen like they had it on the they can have here when everyone was done. Let me see. I had to pull it up on my own, but what I'm saying is this it? Let me make sure this is it. Man, I got so many tabs. All right, here it go. So 3 plead. See if y'all can see it. Boom. I got it. Is that what you were talking about, Carleon? Yeah, that's 250 million. And it's crazy because they only had restitution when they pleaded guilty. They only had to pay like 16 million. Yeah. But check this out. We're finna get on this. So it says Hajid Hasman Saleh. He got a long damn name. 3 of them pleaded guilty to their roles in the $250 million fraud scheme that exploited a federally funded child nutrition program during the COVID-19 pandemic, announced United States Attorney Andrew M. Lugar. According to the court documents, Saleh, 34, the owner of the operation of Hajid Kitchen, LLC, enrolled in the federal child nutrition program under the sponsorship of Feeding Our Future and sponsor. Saleh and his co-conspirators, including Issa, 42, and Abdi, 42, open sites across the state of Minnesota, as well as multiple shell companies, which were used to facilitate the fraud scheme. Yeah, they getting beside themselves. They only had to pay, I guess each person had to pay, but I'm hearing one of them had to pay 16 million in restitution. So they probably got away with a lot of money. If they robbed for 250 million, they said she gonna get like 70 months, 60 to 70 months. That's what she's looking at. Well, one of the defendants. But it's still crazy. When did this article come out? This was last year too. Oh, my bad. This was last year. I guess she just pleaded guilty to it. No, man, that money is gone. They done spent some of that money. They still got the assets probably. But we're gonna be pushing to get us in office, man. Hopefully we get if we get away from Sambos, but yeah, they pulling up all kind of frauds every day with the Somalian people. But check. Let me get back on that FBA search. But yeah, FBA got them going crazy right now. And this is everybody talking about, and I think it's because of birthright citizenship. See the assets first. Yeah, but they smooth. They know how to steal, man. I don't even think they got the Foundation of Black America. I don't even think they got it. Well, yeah, we have been going viral.
Just happened to say, if all African peoples across the globe united to demand reparations from the West, we could end this empire today. I don't know what the fuck it is with this weird ass obsession that Black Americans have with holding ourselves and the fact that we are descendants of slaves over everybody else. But I just want to remind y'all that there are descendants of slaves, African descendants of slaves, all up and down the Americas, baby. As a matter of fact, the majority of enslaved African people didn't even come to these shores. They went to the shores of the Caribbean and South America. People love to uphold Black American resistance as the crown jewel of all African resistance. And let me tell you, okay, we owe a lot of thanks to our brothers and sisters in Haiti and Jamaica, because without them revolting when they did, we would not have been free when we were.
Here we go. Here we go. That's what I be saying. Oh, they got a new FBA song coming out. Yeah, but submarine. They shipping our asses out. They fight for yours. Yeah, she cosplaying us, man. Most definitely she cosplaying. Is she one of the ones? Yeah. That's what they do. And you know, anytime you hear people saying, let's fight for reparations from everywhere, it's like they gotta be a paid agent. Salute, Razed. I played that video you sent me early. I don't know if you was here for it, but I'm no longer musty. Mind of a fact, let me get my reparations from Africa too while you bullshitting. Man, it's the same. I mean, them people control Africa, and I feel like they definitely got Africa in a chokehold, man. Because I would play this, but they're gonna flag my channel.
Namely, 1. Indigenous, 2. Spaniards, 3. Jacobites, 4. Huguenots, 5. Jews. Black Americans today comprise of 5 black groups.
I don't know what they saying with all that. Well, check out your boy Rolling One.
Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they shilling. Look at them, they shilling. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillon, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they shilling. Look at them, they shilling for the Democrats. All y'all FBA B1 ADOS assholes. Well, guess what? All that complaining y'all did, welcome to Trump MAGA America. I hope y'all are having a great time.
I'm going to preface this video by saying that there are a lot of conversations within the Black community that I do not involve myself in as someone who is part Black, but also racially ambiguous. But I'm going to speak on this because I recently and shockingly had some disturbing encounters with people who label themselves FBA. They seem to be triggered because I said this. We're not supposed to care about people that we share DNA with because they're not African American. They're just African. They're still a part of me. And never in my life did I think that I would be attacked by other Black people, angry that I have the audacity to claim people that I share ancestral DNA with. Paraphrasing, but they were saying things like, oh, they're going to drag you on YouTube. Oh, we're coming for you, for simply saying that African people are my people. So after that, I did a little research about FBA. And if I get any of this wrong, feel free to correct me. But I see that the movement and the term FBA was started by what appears to be a misogynist and an alleged former pimp. There appears to be different factions under the FBA umbrella, but I do see
every time the same strategy. They use the same strategy.
that a lot of them are separatists who are creating division within the Black community, within the Black African diaspora.
Tariq Nasheed said, "You're not FBA." No, I'm not FBA. Is Tariq your leader, the pimp? Convince y'all that y'all was supporting something, a real movement, disguised up under reparation. Oh, it's all about reparation. The Democrats ain't did nothing for us, so we ain't voting. We're holding back our vote. Look what that got you.
And all that is doing.
But it's crazy that they didn't say this about the African American name. She's using that term, and that was coined by Jesse Jackson. Caribbeans a sellout. Yeah, man. I mean,
is the work of white supremacy. They are acting as agents of white supremacy. When they do that, they're helping our oppressors to divide and conquer us. I've also seen some people under the FBA label claim to be the original people, which is indigenous erasure, which is extremely problematic. Some of y'all have such a desperate need to belong to something so bad. Y'all are so desperate to be led by someone, anyone, that y'all will accept leadership from an alleged former pimp who is allowing himself to be.
It ain't even no leadership Tariq doing. There's nothing he doing to show any type of leadership. But they keep saying it. You got other people, FBA doing, speaking on FBAs, and they only saying Tariq name. Says someone that is not native. You put, who is us? She claiming she's half FBA.
Used as a tool of white supremacy against his own, causing division and chaos within his own community, even attacking Kamala Harris.
I wouldn't put it past them, dude, for in the next couple of weeks to have Kamala come out doing a twerking video. I would be surprised if Kamala came out in a thong with them little East Indian cakes, dropping it like it's hot. These folks are very desperate right now, ladies and gentlemen.
But defending Donald Trump at times. So a lot of you are no different than the MAGA cult. You criticize if y'all are easily fooled into falling in line behind this dude as your leader. And again, I will say that despite the bickering within the diaspora, African people are my people. When
You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. We don't want to be commodity. Cabela in her bathtub. We got 2 cents in the building. Hey, you can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. 2 cents, what's good, man?
What's good, bro? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, man.
Where everybody at? I thought you dropped the link. I was like, ain't nobody come up there yet. So let me go ahead and drop in there and chop it up with you.
Right, it is getting late. You know, we would have had a couple haters by now, but
yeah,
y'all been beating them to sleep, man. They don't want to come on no more.
No, you know, they do be in the chat. I can still see them in the chat sometimes. But when I hear like immigrants or just say tethers or whatever trying to speak about FBA business, it looks so awkward to me. It's like trying to talk to my girl about the NBA and what LeBron doing. And I mean, it just looks foolish. I ain't saying some women can't, but it just looks foolish and awkward about you talking about a 2-3 zone or we talking football or something. I'm like, look here, man. Yeah, go and stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Go knit a sweater. Go knit a sweater or something. You know, ain't trying to be too misogynistic on it, but if certain things, I'm not gonna be in there in a kitchen full of women while they kikiing and cackling about whatever, talking about bras. I don't even know what the hell they talk about, and I don't care. But guess what? I ain't in their business like that. And that's the thing I have a problem with immigrants. I mean, you ain't never seen no black people representing Mexico City. Over in China and talking about, you know what I'm saying, that type of deal. United States is the only place that really you get away with that bull crap, man. And they done got cocky with it at this point in time. I'm like, everybody on this earth, they have a certain lane that they in and they normally tend to be in. I'm like, some of them try to overreach, and which a lot of immigrants do. Now they done got cocky because guess what? It's the child jumping on the furniture. Now you want to, hey, get off in there. It's too late now. You don't let him jump on the furniture. Yeah, why are you trying to cuss him out now?
So okay. So you don't appreciate other cultures talking about FBA. I feel you, but she claiming she have, I guess, Asian and have black. But we got Nicole B, man, came in the line. What's up, Nicole?
Hey, family.
What's good?
Listen, this. I got so many points, but let me just start with this sister right here. This is why it's very important for us to stay within our lineage. Now, you're free to go and do whatever you want to with whoever you want to. But when you go outside of your lineage, you have these half-breeds that are, what's that song? Caught in between the two, because I really want to be with you. They don't know which side to be on. You know what I'm saying? And so this is very important. We have to stop being selfish. Just because we can do something don't mean that we should do something. And this is what I want to spread even to our future generations. If we are 10 toes down on our lineage, if we are 10 toes down in making sure that our lineage continues, we got over 25 million people. So within the next 10, 15 years, that's going to multiply. And if it's only, now we know, we say 43 to 47 million of us are in the United States. Now we know that Uncle Pete and those out there in the Delta and stuff like that, you know, they ain't coming to the table for no census. So I really believe that there's more than that of us. But we have to take into consideration that there's over 53 million immigrants here in this country. And I'm glad Trump is doing what he's doing, but if they multiply, which they will, because they want that anchorage, they want to be secure in the United States. If they do that, then we need to make sure that we are securing our lineage for the next 100 years. Now, I said this years ago. I hate the word African American, but now that I'm thinking about it, even though I hate that word, we can't just let that word go altogether, even though I would love to. And the reason why I say that is because if we let that word go, then 50 to 100 years from now, these tethers will try to say that they're the ones that did this stuff because they're African American, and they will try to take credit for all the stuff that we have accomplished under the umbrella of African American. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that the word needs to be retired and used no more. You know what I'm saying? But we can't let other people thinking about our future. We can't let other people take credit for what we have accomplished underneath that title. But this sister right here is a great teaching point for us and for our future generations. Listen, it might look good, like India Irie say. She said it might look good, but it can't be a part of my life. It might even smell good, but it can't be a part of my life. It may even taste good, but it can't be a part of my life. We gotta ride on that, because if not, we're gonna have these. God bless her soul, but we're gonna have these half breeds that think that they can say what they want to say because they are half this and half that. Just like I believe on Tyreek's show a few weeks ago, I was listening to. There was a lady who came on there, and she was half FBA, half Nigerian. She didn't know which way to go. She didn't know which way to go. She didn't know if she was on our side or the African side or what. She's just caught up in between the two. So we got to be careful of where, especially men, where you're planting your seed. And women, you got to be careful of who you're letting implant your eggs. Because it's serious out here. If we're really standing on lineage business, then we have got to stand on lineage business moving forward and protecting that at all costs. And I'll land my plane.
Salute. I appreciate you, Nicole. Hey, I agree with you 100%. 100%. 2 cents. What you think about that, man?
Nicole? I got a little older now. I got different philosophies on stuff on how I'm gonna handle it. No, stop telling people they can't. You can't dress that way. You can't talk that way. Now listen to it. Hear me out. Now remember, now I am a little bit older. Come from some different generations off of it. Stop telling people, white people, you can't say the N word and stuff. Stop doing that. Unless it's your family or it's your homeboy or something like that to protect them. Okay, I get it. The rest of them, no, let them. They have to deal with the consequences. What choice they chose, they'll deal with it. A woman said, I was listening to somebody earlier tonight. She said, why people be telling people how to dress? Ma'am, don't you let nobody tell you how to dress. If you want to walk outside stark naked, please do. Go ahead. If you just want to wear a bra, go ahead. Stop trying to tell these adults. Now, if they're children, that's something different. Let them do it. They will, unless it's your family, or it's like a close homeboy, try to protect them. That ain't your problem. I ain't telling no white man he can't say this and that and other. Guess what? They'll get dealt with the repercussions. That right there, you wasting your time and your energy. I don't give a. You think I give a care about Young Thug snitch or Gunna snitch? Man, what is it doing for my life and that type of deal? That's how I'm looking at stuff now. You know, it's not even affecting you directly. Or even for that matter, indirectly. I say, look, I'm telling you now, I done got older. I did that. You don't have to do it. If he want to act stupid.
2 cents. But listen to this was what Nicole B was saying. How do you feel about interracial lineage relationships only? How do you feel about that?
About interracial relationships?
Lineage relationships only.
Yeah.
I mean, lineage, having children with your lineage only.
I never gave a care. It was only a family thing, you know. This is what drives white supremacists crazy, because they're trying to keep their race pure because they know they have a recessive gene. I have a child with a white girl. That child coming out black. I don't care what you want to call. She can call him white all you want to. A half breed. Steph Curry can say well, not Steph Curry. That's a bad example. Somebody got a white mama and black daddy. He can call himself white all he want. But The reality is he's a black child. So that's why I said, y'all, we be wasting time on what people are saying, what they think. If that's their ideology, that's why I said I'm not falling for the Pan-African stuff because, man, I went through the 80s like that. Man, it was bullshit. Man, you know what? All them immigrants, my girl just said it was what, like 53 million immigrants. Do you imagine what we could have did with black people and immigrants together? I'm talking about just, you know, the diaspora type stuff. What it would have been like, bro, it wouldn't be no more. We wouldn't be the minority like that. I promise you. But we thought we led this generation. We did lead them astray. So it's hard to have them believe you type of deal. So yeah, we led them astray. We did like Martin Luther King did right before he passed away. What did he say? I'm afraid I walk my people into a burning building.
Yeah, but 2 cents. Check this out. Have you been around in a relation like an interracial person that had 2 races, mixed breed?
Yeah, I'm from the South. That's all we did.
So how was it? Do you feel like it's a problem when you got 2 lineage attached to you? You feel like that's a problem?
No, I don't think it's a problem because you have one white lady in your family. It don't really change your whole entire lineage. That's not really how it works.
Do you think Bob Marley is a white man or a black man?
He's a black man.
He's a black man.
He's a black man with Jamaican descent and African descent. I mean, yeah.
His father is white.
Hey, you say even if his father is white? Yeah, it's always been that. Look. When people have a child, when that baby come out, if he black like that, you getting called black. Look, even an albino, they still call him a black person. They'll still try to play that game. But you think skin color dictates your race. Now that's 2 different things. Yeah, so whoever the white man is.
So this woman is a black woman to you?
Which woman?
Right here on the screen.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what she is. I mean, she got on too much. I mean, a lot of people cosplay, so you got to be leery of that. For all I know, she could be a transvestite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't play that guessing game. Like whatever people wake up and be what they want to be, especially on the internet. Bro, I'm a Navy SEAL on the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people be taking that stuff way too deep and too serious. It's the internet. And people get fooled so easy, man. It's scary how I know how they can trick you with a movie. I can trick you with music. I'm like, you really think Bill Cosby was a doctor and he did really raise them children? I'm like, people really can go that far.
Right.
Go ahead. Oh, somebody coming back.
Let me get Nicole. Nicole, go ahead. Let me get what you want to say about this.
Okay, so first of all due respect, we got to realize that almost everything that we've been taught in this westernized world have been taught, and the laws and everything else have been passed down through our oppressors. We have got to unlink ourselves from the dependency of our oppressors. And that's even the lies that we have adopted just because I'm white and I say so. And we've adopted that. For me personally, I do not believe that I go by the seed. Okay, that's me personally, because it just makes sense. I go by the father, whatever that father is, because it's proven even in nature. It don't matter what kind of soil you use, whatever impregnates, whatever seed is put into that soil, that's what that benefit is going to be. So I don't believe in all this other stuff that our oppressors have gotten us to believe in. I don't believe in all that. But we can't sit up here and say we got to work on ourselves. This is the perfect time. I believe this is the only time in history that we have not been the target or the focus of the oppressors. I mean, just being real. This is the only time in history, because it was just like Michael Jackson said, it's black, it's white, it's B&W, yeah, and we were the ones that have always had to fight. Now, the Most High have put in place where we have a few years to really make stuff happen as a people, as a lineage. We don't have time for all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it is important that we look at the errors of our ways and our past, and we learn from that. And part of that is making sure that we protect our lineage moving forward. What we have done in the past, that's the past, but we're looking for today and tomorrow. And in order to protect us, and so we don't have any more of these ladies that you have on the screen, it's a privilege. It's a privilege for me as FBA, as freedmen, that both my mama and my daddy share the same lineage. Chinese people marry Chinese people. Africans typically marry other Africans in their own countries. They stick with one another because they value their culture. They value the principles that their culture has. We don't. It's like free for all. Now I am so glad that we are now starting to appreciate who we are and what we have been through. I'm glad to see that. I love to see that. But we can't stop right here. We got to keep going. And if we don't do it within the next 3 years, it's going to be over, because I don't trust J.D. Vance at all. And God knows whatever the Democrats getting ready to bring forth. We don't know, but we know it's going to be a hot mess. So while we got 3 years left, we need to be really tuning in on what we need to do as a people moving forward.
Right. I'm with you.
Done.
I agree with you. I agree. I had somebody on. I don't know if they wanted to rebuttal what you were saying, but come back on. There you go, Black Boy Wonder. Let me hear what you got to say against this, man. This my brother from the sandbox. What's good, Black Boy? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's good?
It's cracking, man. I'm trying to straighten up my picture, but it's a touchy subject. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen you hold this conversation yesterday, and for me, it's not one I really join in too tough, But as far as like lineage, I definitely agree with what the sister said. Like, you know, I identify with the scriptures, and I know a lot of people would disagree with that, and it's sad, but for me, I believe what the scriptures say, and the scriptures say that, you know, lineage comes from the father. So you are what your father is. Color, you know, pigment, these things, there's a lot of nuance to it. And I think that we have to try to look outside of what we think or see, identify as a race or a nation of people, however way you want to look at it. But yeah, I mean, that's what I believe. And Bob Marley was definitely a white man if we going by that standard.
Let me rebuttal him while it's quick on my mind, because I was thinking about that.
Let me just say this before you rebuttal.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
His father was a European man. He was actually a slave master in Jamaica, and Bob Marley's mom's, his old girl, was a woman that he how can I say this? He conquered her, you know, sexually. I don't even know if you can say these words on YouTube, but yeah, just land there, brother. Go ahead. Appreciate you.
Go ahead, too, Cent.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, that by the rule, we didn't, of course, none of us set the rules. The father does dictate what the child is. That's generally how it goes. But, however, they get called biracial or multiracial. But however, we live in a society where perception can become reality, and this is why people identify as such. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that got a white mama and black daddy, you know, or vice versa. But typically, the child, you know, I guess they get a choice. I don't know how they actually doing that. Just like when the Mexicans, I know they're not white, but they fought for to get the law passed for them to consider themselves white in the 1930s. Yeah, we know that, but they're not white. But you can call yourself. That's why I said I don't really care. My bad. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You can call yourself a cat, a dog. We're talking about what society deems you as. You're not gonna be just because Eminem was around black people.
Right.
He don't get the chance to call himself black. That's not how it works.
Right. But check this out. Is your mom and your dad FBA?
Who, me?
Mom and my dad FBA. Yeah.
I still got records that my shit go back. I'm still about mid 1800s right now. I already know where my people from, so I'm not that confused because we had, you know, paperwork and birth certificates. I know my great grandfather and great grandfather. I can go back to my lineage. Now, I'm just fortunate enough to do that. But that's not everybody's case. Some people, houses got burned down, documents lost, you know, that type of deal is unfortunate, but yeah.
Okay. Nicole B, do you hear they rebuttals of what they saying? They not standing on the business hard like you is. Why you think it's so hard?
I can't. I'm listen, and I'm listen. I a lot of things that I have had to relearn.
Yeah.
I had to humble myself because I was a modern woman once upon a time. Okay.
Right.
I had to relearn myself, and I got tired of the lies. We're tired of the lies, but not quite. Listen, we are the salt of the earth for a reason. When we say things, mountains shake, and it's a reason behind that. What I'm saying is we got to let go of the lies. The lies is for confusion purposes only when you're talking about the westernized world, and when we're giving so much credit to white supremacy. We give too much power to them. You know what I'm saying? And we go by their way of how they think and we got to get out of that. We got to just call an ace a ace and a spade. The father, just like when a woman and a man, if you do things the righteous way, which I did not, I had a child out of wedlock. But when a woman and a man comes together as one, she becomes a part of him. That's why when you call the house back in the day, they'll say, the Smith residence. Oh, well, but the wife is her original name wasn't Smith, but when she married that man, okay? When she married that man, she became a part of his rib. She became a part of him. They are one. Okay. And so when you have those children, that woman is a part of that legacy because she's given birth to the legacy of that man. That man's seed will carry on. It's all about the seed, but we allow lies. We allow lies. And these universities, we go to school, and I think I said this the last time on your broadcast. We go to school, and a lot of parents send their children to school without being equipped and having a solid foundation. And if you don't have a solid foundation of who you are, whose you are, and where you come from, when you get behind them institutional doors, them university doors, they can tell you anything, test you on it, and then you start to believe it. We got to let go of the lies.
You know,
period.
I think it's an interesting situation because like it seems like in all like factors of these different races or nations, so to speak, it's like a lot of division. If we look at, Africans on the continent, they're divided from Africans off the continent. And, like for instance, Somalians, they don't identify with being black. A lot of them don't even identify with being African, but Somalia is in Africa. So then we look in, in the hood, in the States, like it's a lot of different subsectors of, warfare being carried out between the FBAs, so to speak, and immigrants that come. It's a lot. So to me, it makes me wonder, like, with this type of magnitude of division, what is the answer for FBAs to get, justice, or to get to where they are financially thriving,
Okay, I got you.
Go ahead, Nicole.
I got you. So going back to what you said, when it comes down to division has been here since the beginning of time. Okay, so when you even talk about when, I don't know if you believe, but I'm a believer, okay? So even when the Most High gave instruction to all of the descendants of Noah and told them to go spread out into the world, they wanted to do things their own selves. They wanted to stay in the land and build together after the Most High have already told them to go and spread out. So what happened was, there came a day when their tongues became split, where they couldn't understand each other's languages. And so if I understood what you were saying, then I'm with this tribe. If I understood what you were saying, I'm with this tribe. When it comes, it's not so much as division. This needed to happen because even when we were in Africa, some of us who came by way of the Atlantic slave trade, even when we came by way of Africa, and I'm including the Caribbeans and the Haitians too, when we came by way of Africa, living in Africa, we were living in Africa, but we were never Africans. This is the reason why we were sold. People are not going to sell their own people. They sold us because we had our own customs. We had our own judicial system. We had our own castles, our own dynasties, and we carried our heritage with us everywhere we went. And when we finally ended up on the west side of Africa, and the Portuguese and all these other people came, they were happy. Those Africans were happy to sell us off because we were not like them. Kendrick Lamar is a very smart guy. That song, he's not just singing that song because it was hot. He knows what I know, that they're not like us. Even when we were in Africa, we weren't African. So we gotta get rid of all those lies because that separates us from where we're really supposed to be. Now, when it comes down to these immigrants, when they sit up there with their little flag in their hand and they raise their hand and they pledge allegiance, well, guess what, boo-boo? You are also acquiring America's debt. You want to be a citizen so bad? You are pledging allegiance. You are denying where you come from to be over here in America. And as a result, you're going to have to pay the debt too. Period, point blank. And I'm tired of us asking for reparations. It's time for us to demand reparations. We are so comfortable in our lives and scared that we're going to lose something, that we're scared to take that leap. But we're going to have to take that leap like our ancestors did with the Alabama bus thing. It only took them 11 months. It only took them 11 months to get what they wanted. And we're going to have to sacrifice. We're going to have to be disciplined and sacrifice and do what we got to do. And I guarantee we got, $1.7 trillion in spending power. What would happen if that vanished? We got power, but we're scared to tap in on that power. But as for these immigrants, if you want it, come and get it. And since you're here, you're going to have to help pay that debt that is owed to us because you're benefiting from what our ancestors did for them. So therefore, you owe too. Now what?
You came over here. Did she answer your question? Jump yard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say yeah. I just think that I would say I just think that like you got FBAs that are doing wealthy in the States right now. But it seems to be a divide with those FBAs and the FBAs that aren't doing so well off. It seems to be like
Yeah, big divide.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she cooked.
She definitely she explained it well. Now, I wanted to get y'all to answer this question, right? Because she was speaking on. She said that how we was in and I showed y'all a picture of the king. You said the name of the king, Junk y'all. It was Tartarian or something.
Tartarian, yeah.
Tartarian. He was an American that went over to Europe. So do you follow the same concept Nicole B was saying, Junkyard, was meaning that we was all over the world pretty much and we started from America, or how you feel about that?
Hey Bob, on YouTube, it's Boy Wonder. you know
boy,
me
well,
personally.
my bad. I'm giving you alias, man.
You feel me? Hey, no, but I'll be real with you. I don't really know a whole lot. It's something I came across early this year, Tartaria. I really don't know. I think there's a lot of architecture that points back to this civilization of people, and I don't know what race they would be. I would definitely say Black people were fundamentally a part of it because, when we look at America and how America was formed, you can see a lot of Tartarian history there as well. And we're famously known to have built America. So there are connections that are definitely to be drawn. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really know.
Okay.
I got you.
Let me get Nicole B. She cooking tonight.
I got you.
Think about that.
I got you. So me personally, I'm gonna give you a quick little intro. Me personally, I'm a pastor's daughter, and I still help my father to this day at his church. Okay. So there's a lot of questions. I've been around many a pastors. I've been around many a churches all my life. And I didn't have the answers that I needed. I was in church all this time, and I'm like, Lord, we in church. We done been to Sunday school. We got 4 o'clock service, and we in church all day, and we praying and and we still at the bottom. What in the world is going on? Where these people who are I'm not gonna say all of them are, but their fathers are the devil. And how do they get to live so good? And I never came up. Nobody in the church could tell me. What they would tell me is, and we'll understand it better by and by. I don't want to understand it by and by. I need answers today. So I started. I came across this particular group. Gathering of Christ Church, and when I say it has answered all my questions, when I say it has changed my whole entire life. So going back to what you said, we got to realize who we come from. There are 2 people. The reason why so many cultures are jealous of us is because they can't understand that while a lower class, as we are considered to be at the bottom, why is so much attention centered around us when we're at the so-called bottom? What they don't realize is that there are 2 brothers that are still fighting to this day. And that is Jacob and that is Esau. Esau, let me tell you how the Bible is our history book. The Bible calls Esau a cunning hunter. Okay? That's what the Bible calls Esau. Now, when it comes down to our other folks, the supreme people in this land, they will, I don't care how much money they got, they're going to teach their sons and their daughters how to what? Hunt. Okay? They love to hunt. This is their father, Esau. We come from Jacob. So in 70 AD, y'all can look this up. In 70 AD, God told the told Israel, the 12 tribes, when you see the Romans, which are modern day Europeans, when you see them come across to Jerusalem, flee into the mountains. Okay, so when we saw the Romans coming, because they wanted to destroy us, as they still do to this day. When they came and we saw them coming, we fled into the mountains. Well, where are the mountains? If you look on the map right now, you will see that there's only a river that separates Africa from Jerusalem. Okay. And so when we all got together, all 12 tribes made it to the mountains, which are in Egypt, which is how those great dynasties got built, we separated. You had the southern tribes and you had the northern tribes. The northern tribes went north and out. Most of those people, especially what we call Gad, the Native Americans, or what we know as the indigenous, our people, the indigenous, those people, God made a way for them to come all the way over here in ships without them getting shipwrecked. All these other European nations that tried to come over to this secret hidden land, they got shipwrecked along the way. There were many of shipwrecks where they did not make it to this land because this land was protected, and it was for a certain type of people. So those are those people. When we talk about the indigenous people, and we're all trying to scramble and figure out, well, how did we get over here? When did the indigenous people come? In 70 AD. That's when we came over here as indigenous people. The other 3 tribes, which are the southern tribes, which is the Benjamin, which are known as the Jamaicans, the Haitians, which are known as the Levites, and Judah, which are known as the kings, which that's who we are. We went through Africa, all through Africa, from Egypt all the way to the west side. That's why when we got to the west side of Africa, they knew we wasn't like them because we didn't act like them. We didn't catch bush meat and we didn't eat everything. We didn't practice certain customs that the Africans did. We had our own culture and our own religion. But yes, the indigenous people, the Somalians and Gad in the Bible, all of these people did come over here in 70 AD. And we've been here since the beginning. It's biblical. We don't have to look at the Bible, which I got to look at the Bible as a spiritual book, but you don't have to look at the Bible as a spiritual book. You can look at it as a history book, because everything that we're going through now is written up in the books. And I'm going to tell you something else. In 1928, you could go to a Catholic church or mass or whatever and look at their Bible in comparison to the Bible that we have, the King James, the regular King James version. In 1928, they took out a piece of the Bible, which is called the Apocrypha, that if they would have kept that in there in 1928, then we would have known without a doubt who we were and who Esau was. So that's how we got over here. It was in 70 AD, and you can look this stuff up.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm learning something new every day. 2 cents. What you got to say about that, man? Africa.
Yeah, I tend to take back seats to politics or religion. If you want to fuss and fight, that's the reason why if you work a real good job, they don't let you talk. You're not allowed to talk about politics and religions in the workplace. I ain't talking about McDonald's or bullshit. Like, no. I'm saying went up the ladder a little bit. I'm older. I don't work different jobs. The ones that was real about that, no. You religion and politics. It's in the handbook, in the policy. So I tend to not do it in this type. It's a time and a place. It's like your Bible study, you know, on Wednesday nights. And I can tell my girl, she's been around it. I'm from the South, so I know what she's talking about. But what I won't do is say something about religion, because it can oppose her readings or her indoctrinations, because that's why we got Protestants, Baptists, and they all got their own beliefs and all that. It's two things. Don't do it. If you ready for the fight, well, actually three, 2025, I'm going to say religion, politics, and LeBron James. You do it, get ready to argue and fight all night with somebody. But I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I'm a backseat do it because, like I said, I don't. The timeline is it be all kind of messed up for me because I'm like, yeah, man, you got black bones and ancestors that's been found in South Carolina and stuff like that 5,000 years ago. But yet we stop and talk and give all the information about something right at the turn of at AD or before Christ. I'm like, it's too much to go into, and I don't want to do it on you won't want to be in a enclosed setting like a Bible study and talk about it. Because if not, you're gonna upset someone about how you feel, especially on the internet.
But sir, bro,
so I'm a backseat. I'll backseat the religion part. I don't want to do the religion part.
I'm not talking about it as a religion. I'm talking about it as a factual thing. You don't even have to use the Bible. You can go to Cambridge University. I tell you what, do some research. If you look up Cambridge University or look up Oxford University, if you look at their Bibles are the complete books. Not only that, but if you go to Charlotte, North Carolina, right? And if you go to the Billy Graham Museum, it has inside of the Billy Graham Museum when all of these denominations came about. I'm not even talking about it from a denomination part. When you look at, like, a lot of people say this who understands, when you look at like Deuteronomy 28, when it talks about all the blessings, 1 through 15 talks about all the blessings, and then 16 through 68 talks about the curses. If you look at where it says, I'm going to bring you into bondage again with ships. And then you look that no bondman and no bondwoman shall buy you. So when you start saying with ships, hold on. Well, who else was oppressed with ships and was never redeemed? So that's a starting point. Then you can go to like Psalms and all of those people, Psalms 83. When you read that, I think it's verse 7, it talks about the people who have conspired against us. And when you look at that, they got Arabs mentioned, which is Moab. Only thing you have to do is type in Moab in Google search, and it's going to tell you who those people are. And so even when you look in at the name Tyre is an ancient African name. And so it's saying, well, who is conspiring against us in Psalms 83? And all of those people that are mentioned are the ones that we are fighting against today. Or and I'm not going to say that we're fighting against, but that we have to keep our guard up around. These are the same people. So it's just like different, not even from a religious aspect. It's more of a history thing. And it's like, okay, let me see what this is. But when it comes down to the religion thing, I get you. You know what I'm saying? Because the good ship Jesus brought some of us over here. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
This is the thing though. Like, I think a lot of people, they intermingle like the Bible with, like, you know what I'm saying, Christianity, and I think a lot of people think that that's synonymous, right? But the truth is like the Bible doesn't even have the word Christianity in the book. You can't even find that word in the book, right? And the Christ of the Bible didn't preach a religion. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't preach a religion. There were those that were trying to be like Christ, and you could say they were Christian, but the thing about it is there's more to the Bible than a so-called religion. It's got history, blood, lineage, like a whole lot of things that affect how we've come to be. And a lot of people don't believe in it, and that's cool, but there's a lot of things that are evident in there that can be proven till today.
Absolutely.
Hey, let me say this part. I know we got 14, the Bible was written 1,500 years ago. Now, we're talking about things about slaves and stuff like that. And we're talking about the slaves around what, 1600 or whatever. We're talking about the slave trade and stuff like that. Transatlantic slave, this stuff happened later. How old do you think the oldest human being that we can prove that's been on this earth? Well, I mean, how long ago you think that is? 12,000, no, 12,000 years. But we sitting up here bumping our gums about 2,000 of the 12,000. Yeah. I'm saying it's kind of, but doesn't that seem kind of strange and odd to you? And they found, or maybe they lying. I'm gonna at the end of the day, I really don't care.
You know what?
The oldest person that they have discovered outside of Brazil, and y'all probably already know her, is the Luzia, Luzia.
Yeah.
That's 12,000 years ago, but we sitting over here bumping our gums about something that occurred 2,000 years ago. Isn't that strange or bizarre to you?
Well, the thing is, history is definitely being rewritten. But go ahead, sister. Yours first.
Go ahead,
Nicole. I'm sorry. What I was just getting ready to say is, no, it was translated. It's a difference between it being translated. And if you go again to Oxford University, because they're not, that's why it's an Ivy League school, because only a certain demographic of people can get the information and the education that they provide. But if you go to Oxford University and also Cambridge University, you will see the true King James. Not the one that when you Google, it's a white man with a white man with blue eyeshadows, and he was a black man, and he had the Bible translated. He was the king of 3 countries, only person who have been the king of 3 countries at the same time. He knew what they were planning against us. However, he didn't have jurisdiction to change any of that. So what did he do? He translated it from the scrolls that were already there and verified. He just translated it into the tongue that we were going to be oppressed by. And that's it. So it goes.
Oh, okay.
It goes way back further than that. And it's not about anything. It's just let's just be honest and let's just be real and let's be open enough, because I had to be open enough to even entertain anything outside of the traditional Christian church. And I'm still ridiculed by family today because I don't participate in some of the things that they participate in. But I have to be open enough because I want to know the truth. I want to help my people the best way I want. Everybody ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, take heed to it, and that's fine. But he that have ear, let him hear. And those who don't, then that's on you. I mean, I can't make you, I can bring you to the water, but I can't make you drink. But if you would just be open-minded and kind of research, you would find out that a lot of that stuff that is written of and that was prophesied about that has already happened. And what's going on now is already been written. It goes hand in hand. So that's all I got to say for right now.
Okay. I want y'all to answer this because y'all said a lot of people don't believe in the Bible. It's a lot of people in the chat were talking about the Bible. What makes y'all feel that it's people? Is it from the slave master gave people the book? Why do you think people are they're not sold on the Bible? Give me y'all reason.
Well, now did you say sold on the Bible?
Or they feel like some people feel like the Bible was created, like the white man created the Bible.
I think that because when we, I wouldn't say is really our native language, right? So we are definitely a native people or indigenous, however way we look at it. The European language is not our language. And I think that when we look at the Bible, there's so many depictions of this, European colonialized perspective of God, right? And then these ideologies that have ensued in society. I'm not really talking about based on scripture, but like even a lot of these pastors today in these mega churches, they don't preach about the Savior. They don't preach about Christ, the Messiah. They preach a doctrine based on prosperity, which really aligns up with the government, because you can get tax kickbacks and all kind of stuff like that by just not preaching certain doctrines of the Bible. So we have this bastardized, so to speak, version of a book that has been transliterated, as a sister said before, from I'd say the Tanakh, the Dead Sea Scrolls, into the version of King James into the European standard.
Okay. Before she go, because it is religion thing. So I'm trying not to make it religious like, because it can offend people. It is a very touchy subject. So I'm gonna say it. I'm trying to say, yeah, my girl sitting beside me, man. I'm like, yeah, and plus we got a woman in the room, so I speak with decorum and all that kind of stuff like that. But here's the thing about it. See, what I say is what I could possibly believe. It's a ton of religion. Have you ever talked to a Muslim and he stopped you? Man, it sounds so good. Have you ever talked to a Hebrew Israelite? Yeah, it sounds so good. Just like I know when I speak, I can hear the lady speak on here. It sounds so good. Everybody, it can sound very good and very great. See, but here's the thing where I can kind of, separate the two, because I know you are supposed to, seek the knowledge yourself type of deal. I mean, that's why people, it's so many religions and stuff like that out there, and it's ran rampant. And first of all, God don't speak English. He don't, I mean, he's just like, oh, well, because I speak another language. God speak every language. So don't get it twisted. Matter of fact, I can tell you right now, I can go to any place on God's planet and speak to any human being on this earth. So I've never felt like, because I don't speak Hebrew or I don't speak Greek or nothing, that I can't communicate with the most high. So it's never about the language. And if you know, and you in the religion, it's not about the language in that way. God can speak to you that way. People caught up to a person, your pastor or the Pope. That's what they do. If that's what they do, that doesn't dictate my salvation. I got to go through what I went through in life. And if I chose wrong, it's on me. But hey, ask my I can't remember her name. But ask her what they tell you in church. I'd rather die believing than to die and not have believed. That's what most of us. I mean, I don't know. She sounds like she might be from down south or got some down south. I know her. When she told, I know. I know what you're talking about.
The chat saying, ask them if Noah really built the ark. Now, before they ask that, it's a lot of stories that's in the Bible that,
who cares? It's
hard for some people to believe that it can happen. I want y'all to speak on that, on these stories that's in there that, like was swallowed by a beast. And I want to get y'all perspective on all of the, the strange stories that's in the Bible. I want to get y'all perspective on it. Like he said, the Noah really built an ark.
Go ahead.
So let me bring up an example, a recent example, and I'm gonna try to be vague. So fill in the blanks. There was a person this year who was spewing out all types of hate. We haven't done anything to anybody. We haven't done, if we do anything to anybody, we do it to ourselves primarily. We don't go out here and just do treacherous things for no reason. We're not the type of people that go out here and talk about people for no reason. That's just not in our DNA. But this particular person continued to say things about us. And it's almost like we have a brace. You know what I'm saying? Like when we hear white supremacists getting ready to spew hatred, it's like we tense up, like our bodies, we don't even know it's happening, but our bodies kind of brace for a mighty Russian wind or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like we tense up and we prepare ourselves for the abuse that we're getting ready to endure.
Okay.
Well, this year right here, as somebody was getting ready, I mean, literally getting ready to say some hateful speech out of their mouth without us having to do anything, it ceased. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And as a result, we don't be in areas like that for the most part. We was far away from it. But do you know we were still blamed for it? They was looking at us side eye. Well, how can y'all look at us side eye when we were far, far away from the situation and you caught the person who did it? Why y'all mad? Because they know what we don't know. They know that we have a power. We have a power that's beyond them. Like I said, it goes back to two brothers, Jacob and Esau. So it doesn't matter if you are Japanese, whatever you are, all these other Esau nations. It don't matter what you are. It's always going to be black and white. When it comes down to certain things that happened in the Bible, I believe everything it is to be true because it has not lied to me yet.
Right. So
and I see the miracles.
Right. So
I definitely believe in the stories. Because do y'all believe in dinosaurs? Do you believe in dinosaurs? Do you believe that there was a saber-toothed tiger? Do you believe that there were giants? I mean, these are cartoons that they make cartoons out of. Do you believe in dinosaurs? They found bones and stuff. These things literally happened. This was a part of the earth at one point in time. There was an evilness to the point where God said he ever created man. He ever created man. And so that Noah's Ark was a way he destroyed a multitude of people. But with that Noah's Ark, that was a way that he kept who he needed to keep safe during that time, along with a male animal and a female animal of every kind, in order to keep everything, Noah and his sons and their wives, but everybody else was destroyed. Everybody else was destroyed. But during that flood, when you do your research, you will find out that some of the evil seeds still got away, which is why you have people doing some crazy stuff today. You just don't understand who could have the mindset to be that evil, to be that sinister. These people are not like us. Some of these people are evil and are able to do this wicked stuff because they're a part of that seed, that Nephilim seed that got away.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, hold on before you ask that next question. Before you ask that next question. Oh, hey, you know what? Oh no, I thought he dropped off. My man Banner is blocking him. He's still in there. Was you about to say something, bro? Is somebody at the bottom?
Black boy. Yeah, I wanted to hear him answer that question. Black
okay,
boy.
Yeah, I mean, I personally believe the entire, the Bible in its entirety.
The entire story.
Yeah, I do. There's been that, they in the scriptures it says that the ark rested in Mount Ararat. Apparently they have found like some remains of what seems to be an ark that fits the description on the biblical story of Noah. Now, I can't prove that it is, and I can't disprove. Another thing they did find in the ocean is the remains of Pharaoh, or a Pharaoh, that basically lines up with the time frame of the biblical reference of Pharaoh of Moses' day. So there are things that can be linked back, but then at the end of the day, unless you can, indefinitely prove this, then you're not going to turn heads and make people believers. So I think that when it comes to the scriptures, you're going to have to reach a place where it's like you have a connection with that God, and these things become revealed to you, right? So yeah, it's a tricky thing. But yeah, I personally, my answer to the B1 business is yes, for sure. I do believe it.
Wow.
You do believe it. Okay, we got
Yeah.
B1 business just came in. B1 business, what's good, family?
What's good, family, man? I appreciate you giving your boy an opportunity to speak, man. Been subscribed for a minute.
Yeah.
I got mad respect. Yeah. I got mad
Yeah.
respect for what you do, man. You be killing it, man. Yeah. Just man, real quick. I think it's Jen, and I got my Bibles in the room. I just didn't go get them. My wife and her. I didn't want to disturb her, but.
Right.
None of this stuff is true, but you can't prove nothing in the Bible. The ark ain't never been found. Ain't nobody found no ark in Turkey. But not only that, the measurements of the boat. If anybody in the chat or a cubit is measured at 1.5 feet. So the Bible was. The ark was 350 cubits long. It roughly measures 3 stories high and 75 feet wide. So Noah was ordered to put 2 of every animal and every beast on the boat. Not only that, the good animals, it's described as the good animals are the best animals. 7 sets of 2 was to go on that boat. So if you take the measurements of the boat ain't even bigger than the Titanic. So you telling me you fit all these animals on this boat, and then the measurements of what the earth was flooded in comes out to 15 feet of water. That boat damn near wouldn't even float in no 15 feet of water, let alone you think 15 feet of water covered up Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro? 15 feet of water? You flooding the whole earth in 15 feet of water. It's in Genesis 4. It starts in the 8th chapter. The 8th verse. You can read it for yourself. The measurements of the boat and how many animals got put on the boat. And these grown ass people sitting up here talking about, yeah, man, I believe that really happened. So we go, so goes Genesis, so goes the whole book. They lying in the first book. They lying in the whole book. Jesus didn't walk on no water? Come on, man. It's a mythology. The book not real. It's it got some good stuff in there, but none of this stuff is fact-based. You can't find. I would challenge anybody in here saying that the book is real. If you find the gravesite of any Moses, Peter, Paul, Shadrach, Meshach, or Abednego, you find any one of their grave sites, I'll pay your rent for a whole month. Well, for a whole year. If you can prove to me that you found any one of these grave sites.
Yeah, so, you had to build a cave, lions.
Hey,
oh shoot.
Hey, what was that?
Oh shoot, I unmuted while he was talking. I'm sorry. Hey, finish up, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we can crush we can crush all of that in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? We can crush the whole Bible in Genesis with the Noah's Ark. And these people talking about, I believe it. I believe, man, that's all they can do is believe it, because you can't prove it. You see what I'm saying?
What would make people
go ahead?
What would make people, right, believe something that they can't prove? Like, tell me, why would they? You get me? Like, if I told you a story that was unbelievable for me right now, and I told you that, you would be like, why would people why would they believe something that they can't prove? I mean,
especially our ancestors, because our ancestors were dumb. Our ancestors were dumb. They were outnumbered here on this side, but they still prevailed. And it was a spiritual battle. And it still is a spiritual battle, but to say that it's not real, and that's what most of our ancestors believed, especially because before the big migration, when they were here in the South, that's what they believed. And when you talk about Nat Turner was teaching this very thing, which is why he was cannibalized, because they wanted to, if he knew this much information, they wanted a part of that. It wasn't enough to unalive him, but they also had to take part of him, because he was just that phenomenal, but we don't talk about him because we have become doctrinated and everything. A lot of things our ancestors did, it was based off of faith. It was based off of faith, but we're in what's that, Missouri, the show me state, where I don't believe anything unless you can prove it. That's not what our ancestors. That's not the business our ancestors stood on.
Can I ask you a question, Water God?
Yeah.
Would you say you believe that there is a God or a Most High?
A higher power, yeah, most definitely, I believe that.
Can you say you can prove that?
Well, I can prove it. This is the only way I can say, because we can create, okay, a human is created, but which came first, the seed or the egg? We still at that point, right? So that kind of lets me understand that it had to be some kind of scientific stuff done from a high power, because we can't really
And I want to ask you,
but
I want to
can't
ask you another
prove.
question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So I understand your disposition there. Would you say that you can prove that you're alive?
Can I prove it? Yeah, I can prove I'm alive.
How can you do that?
I'm breathing, my heart's pumping.
But these things that you're experiencing, how could they indefinitely prove that you're a living entity? What would you be able to compare it to say that I am alive? What is the I in you that is alive?
So you saying I would have to believe? I mean, depends on what you take as alive, because it's different. But I get your. I don't get your point. With the alive part.
What I'm trying to get at is that I'm not saying you, because I know where you stand personally, but a lot of people are atheists. A lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people don't believe in the Bible. A lot of people believe and don't believe, right? But this is the thing that I pick a bone with people that say they don't believe, right? Is if you don't have a higher power or God, then how can you say what means, what the definition of meaning is? How can you put a definition to things that you experience when it comes to your emotions, love, connection, all of these words that we use to describe things? How can we say that those things are actually real other than just, interactions within the brain?
Okay, let me let B1 get that. That one's a little over my head. B1, what you think about that one?
It's just they want you to believe what they believe, and if you don't believe, then they got to take you all around the world. Well, how we know red is red? How we know we really supposed to walk a dog with a leash? It just get to asking these questions, man. Look. Man created God. It wasn't the other way around. Anything and everything we know about God, we know a man told us. A human being like me and you told us who God was. Just like that lady brought up Nat Turner. Somebody put a Bible in Nat Turner's hand and would only let him teach the Bible. Nat Turner had enough discernment to read the whole Bible and see that within the Bible, some of these people that was oppressed, they fought back. So he just fought back. But we was enslaved through the Bible. It's something called a Negro Bible. You can look that up, Water God. It's something called the Negro Bible or the Slave Bible. So we was indoctrinated with this stuff. And I grew up in church, so you can't really run it on me. I'm a Koji kid. I was born in 73. I've been in church all my life. So, I seen it all. I seen some of the most worst vile people I ever seen was people that was running the church and the people that was in the church. But that's here now that we gonna focus on the Bible. We gonna focus on the book. So, I believe it's a higher power. I believe it's something that, created the trees. We didn't create the trees. We didn't create none of these birds. You see what I'm saying? We didn't create the water. We didn't create none of that, but we use it We know what to do with water right now. I just did a 4-day fast, and they was like, don't eat no food, but drink the water. You see what I'm saying? So we use stuff that's been been here for thousands of years. We can't explain it, so we say it was God. It was God. But who told you anything about God? A man. Who wrote any one of these books? She talking about the King James Bible, and it's a Bible over here and a Bible over there. A man wrote them books. At the end of the day, a man wrote them. See, this is what I'm okay. God is omnipotent. God is the most high, the most powerful, the most everything. So what he need a mere mortal man like me and you for to write the book or to get up in the pulpit and tell people about him? Why he can't just tell us himself? Why he never revealed himself to us or nothing like that? Then they get in the more spookism. Well, see, God, because if he show you, he'll have to kill you. It just be some crazy stuff. I done heard it all, man. You know what I'm saying? But nobody can prove none of that stuff, so they blame it on God. God gonna get you. God getting tired of you.
B1, I got a question for you. So what do you think that Bible do that you feel like, they put it here and they using it for control of man? What do you think it does to the people, and what would the people be like if man didn't introduce the Bible to them?
Man, it's powerful. You see it. You see it in the chat. You see these people that's talking to you. It's powerful, man. Hey, man, it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's used to control. It has always been used to control. And I'll give you an example. Not only did what happened with Dylan Roof when he went off in that church, you see the first thing these black folks did was got in a circle, holding hands, and start praying. Well, I'm here in Fort Worth, Texas. A few years ago, I say about 4 years ago, maybe 5, the police killed a little, well, I ain't gonna say he was little. He was running from the police or whatever. And excuse me. Yeah, unalive, And they said he had a pew, but he didn't. They said he had a firearm, but he didn't. But they unalived him. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, after a while, they had taped off the scene and all that. And people start. How I get when everybody just started gathering around and stuff like that. Man, these people got in a circle. Some of these black men got in a circle. Some of them held hands with the police that just did this to this boy in cold blood and had prayer with him and was praying with him. And then with the hugging on him after that. And I was like, man, I can't believe. I said, y'all some. I said, man, y'all some suckers. Y'all some weak, scary, coward suckers, man. Even if you do feel like that, you don't do no public display like that. You see what I'm saying? You go amongst your man. They just show the sign of, look, we bowing down. We submit to you. We don't want no problem with you, nothing like that. And that's due to that Bible, forgive and forget. Turn the other cheek, all that kind of submissive stuff. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, like I say, I was raised with, you slap this cheek when I'm turning, I'm coming back like Steve Harvey said, with that back end, spinning all the way back around. I'm getting mine back. Ain't no turn the other cheek over here, man. But yeah, that's what it did in my opinion. I don't down. I'm gonna land my plane. I don't down no religion. Like tomorrow, I'm going to a Muslim. This my dear brother. He's a Muslim. I'm going to his wedding tomorrow. One of my best friends is the Muslim. He's a barber. We tight, man. We rolled around yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I got some Christian homeboys. Yeah, I got a couple of Hebrew homeboys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't subscribe to none of that. I don't subscribe to no religion, man. I'm not getting tied down with no religion. It's 3 main religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And Islam is the youngest of all 3 of the religions. So, and all 3 of them was man-made, and all 3 of them are Abrahamic religions. So if you can do your research on all that, and you can take my words for what you will, you can take it or leave it or whatever, but that's just how I feel about it, bro. And I appreciate you giving me time to speak.
For real. So y'all rebuttal to this. I want y'all to rebuttal this. Nicole B, you wanted to what you had to say about his stance on a man is man-made, and just give me your points on what you heard from him.
Well, all due respect, I can only go by my experience, you know. And to be honest, about 2 years ago, I met this guy. Wasn't planning on it. I met this guy. He was not only was he a Muslim, but he was an African, and yeah, and I mean treated me like a queen, proposed to me and everything. But when I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, well, let me study Islam a little bit deeper. And what I found about the origin, and he's right, all of these come from Abraham. All of the major religions come from Abraham. But when I started like really diving into the Muslim belief, it blew my mind. Even when you talk about Christianity, if someone was to ask me, are you a Christian? I always tell people I'm a pre-Constantine Christian. Before the pagans came in and started interjecting certain things. When it comes down to the belief system or whatever, I can only go by what should have been in my life, what I should have, excuse me, where I should have been in my life, and what should have happened to me in my life. And because of something that I can't see, taste, or touch, was there to protect me and to get me through certain situations that normal people would have off themselves. I know that he gave me strength and power to overcome certain things that normal people would not have been able to overcome. So
okay, let me clear that up. Hold on. So you saying the Bible, the actual Bible, helped you overcome some things? You saying, or you saying it? Are you giving it to the higher power? Which one is you? So we all know which one you mean. Because
well,
go ahead.
Well, I'm saying it in terms of the Bible is your foundation. Okay, so the Bible is your foundation, but in order for me to have a relationship, it's just like a relationship that you have with a human. You have to work towards that relationship. You have to actually collect data within that relationship. You got to see if you're compatible with that person. You got to see if you and that other person match. And so that's the same thing that I had to do. I couldn't rely on the religion of my parents or my great grandparents or anything else. I have to seek out my own.
Your own.
I had to seek it out for myself. Yeah.
The contrary what B1 said, right? I was saying that how the Bible could be useful, and he gave an example of how a black man got killed and it was a kumbaya, and the white officer just killed the black kid. Do you feel like the Bible softens our people up with the turn your cheek? Do you feel like that, like what he's saying? He's basically saying like it keeps us in a certain mindset.
That's because we don't read the Bible. Because if you really read the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, we was slinging. We were destroying nations. And as a matter of fact, if you read the story of Gideon, if you read that story, there were 10,000. Most High said, if I let you fight these opposing people with those 10,000 that you have, then y'all gonna think that y'all did it within yourselves, that you did it on your own. He says, no, send some of them home. Make a long story short, there was only 3,000 that fought. They slew the whole nation. Christianity, modern Christianity, has taught us about turning the other cheek. Modern Christianity, and that is a way. I agree. That's a way, because they know we are the strongest people It's scientifically, if you need science, it's scientifically proven and everything else. We are the strongest people. So you know that our oppressors, even when it comes down to the word slave, for slaves to obey their masters, it wasn't talking about the slavery that they put us through. It was talking about employment. Your employer tells you what time to be there and everything else. But when it comes down to turning the other cheek and other things like that,
Right.
that was not that was unheard of in the in tradition in the pre-Constantine Christianity. That was unheard of. But they
Okay,
had to
so you
tell us to
agree.
do certain stuff like that.
So you agree with
Okay,
that
go
portion
ahead.
of what he said. Okay, so you basically agree with some of what B1 was saying.
Yeah, because even to this day, for me, like if you cross me, I'm gonna pray for you while I'm doing what I need to do. I'm helping society.
Right. I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a chance to whatever God you believe in. I'm gonna give you a chance to pray and to make amends with whoever you need to. But at the end of the day, I gotta take care of you.
Right. Yeah.
That's
I'm
that's me.
with
That's
you.
me.
I'm with you on that.
But I'm not gonna have hate. Like even with this stuff that's going on between the diaspora or whatever, I don't have anything against anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm gonna stand on my lineage any means necessary because I know who I know who I am.
That's right.
I'm not gonna hurt your feelings. I'm not gonna do anything to harm you unless you harm me.
Okay. I hear that. Now, Black Boy Wonder, I want you to rebuttal what B1 Business said about turn your cheek and it makes it soft. And my question was, how would people be without if the Bible wasn't there, then how it is that people are there right now? Give me your take on that. Black Boy Wonder.
I mean, I think that there have been a lot of doctrines that have been drawn up out the Bible, right, that are counterproductive to our community specifically. And I think that there's a lot of allegorical preaching. And, there's this love doctrine that God is love, 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 and stuff like that. But they don't preach the wrath of God. They don't preach the critique of God, the power to change within his righteousness, right? And all of these things that the Bible claims. So I think that there are people that propagate themselves and society as a whole, and this is why being an FBA is quite a unique position to be in, right? Because there are enemies all around in a sense to speak, right? When it comes to economics and power and in the military, authority, all of these ranks that we're up against, and they will, for instance, like the CIA, COINTELPRO. There are a lot of institutions and organizations that are propped up against our community. So when they see something that is good for the gander, then they're going to automatically stand on side of that and push that. So I think that it has weakened people, and I think that there is a lot of weakness that comes out of a lot of the doctrines that is being preached. But like the sister said, like if you really read the Bible, then you will have a more in-depth perspective of what is actually, what God of the Bible is really about. Because, Moses was considered a man of war. You know what I'm saying? God is considered a man of war. So these aren't terms that are being, acknowledged when it comes to the Bible widely. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that if we didn't have the Bible, I think there would be a lot of good and there would be a lot of bad either way. But I think that without the Bible, a lot of people would probably draw a disconnect. I think in some way or another, the existence of the Bible and a lot of preachers, we seem to understand each other from a more of a religio way without maybe identifying with it, right? Like B1, he doesn't believe in any of these things. But if he saw me coming down the street and I'm hailing up, Christ, he probably would have a better understanding of me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Rather than to pick confrontation, he may be able to pick more of a merciful side. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just think that there's good and bads on both sides.
Respect that. B1, go ahead. I mean, 2 cents. Want to get in 2 cents, man. What you how you feel about?
Yeah, I hope you didn't bring me back up like that. But yeah, because it's the religion thing. Like I said, you got to be careful. I don't want to step on nobody's toes again. Like I said, it's new people on the panel. But I understand that when you talking religion, I'm like, a lot of people have passed away, have been unalive based upon it. So even if you was a Muslim, we know is the two, was it the Sunnis and the Shiites? It's different. And I know for a fact, just over here in the United States, do you not realize the KKK unalive people and do what they do based upon the Bible? They're reading the same Bible you got. Hey, no. I don't want you to think it's the. I don't want you to think it's the Thomas Edison version of the Bible. No, they reading the same Bible, and they are able. This was what was so bizarre. They are able to quote verses on how they treat people in other races and stuff, and stand on it. See, I understand that. That's not where my message come, and you can interpret that Bible in several different ways. We can watch the same movie, and I got a whole different depiction of what you thought about the movie. Like, oh yeah, he was this, that, and the other, and I got a whole different depiction. So I understand that when they was writing, all these people writing things and stuff like that. So I'd be like, to each his own on what they're doing. I pray for your salvation, and you find and understand. And my man over here with the beard, I don't know his name. Yeah, he hit you with that. Like, is there a God type question? I know it was really rhetorical, but he asked you that question. I'm like, shoot, you looking at it and you listening to it. If there's a God type of deal. Because see, I was like, I know he's religious, but he was just saying something. He's not a Bible thumper, but he do what he was saying. He told us, he said, I believe there is a God. You tell me the man that could create my body and make each one and got lungs, arms, and all this kind of stuff like that. Look, I'd rather believe logically God created that. Now you want to start saying other people, different type of human beings or that was on the earth, that's something totally different. And it's whatever you subscribe to or what you've been indoctrinated with. And you got to remember, we were once kids. And that's why I look at things when I saw the slavery and the Jim Crow stuff. Look in the pictures. Those are kids. Those are kids watching that. Do you know what kind of damage that do to you? And guess what? Those kids became what? Adults. And they spawn children. So this is what we're dealing with. I'm not calling nobody evil, but it's a certain demographic of people.
Question for me. Right.
Being savages.
Answer this question for me. B1 said that, it makes people, turn the cheek and soft. Do you agree with that? Do you think the Bible, kind of softens us, the culture? We FBA, so when we trying to resist and fight back or stand up,
no.
Bible, huh?
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I can agree with what he said, but we know it's nothing is 100%. But I understand what he's saying in general. See, I've been raised foundational Black American. I know how easy it would have been for a white child, an Asian child, if they was out, man, we would have damn near moved them in a house, gave them food and this, that, and other. I know what time it is. You know how God, you ain't got to brag. The only thing I don't like when Black people brag about it. I know I can run faster. I'm stronger. I can outthink you and all of that. I know how God created us. I have a problem with not being humble about how great you are. And you know you are. Only way that it can be fair, you have to put obstacles and chains on these on this group of people. I know it is, but I don't talk about it too much because that becomes braggadocious and stuff. Man, when I see black people, man, I know they're amazing. Somebody had to tell them that they're not. You know what I'm saying? You can get indoctrinated that way. But go ahead.
Okay, now listen, I want to ask B1 another question because he told us how different he still hangs with people who Islam, Christian, and all of this. So this question is going to be B1, do you feel that your Christian brothers, and I'm talking about the people that you know that you met that was Christian, okay, they believed in that and believed in the Bible. Do you feel like they had that revolutionary spirit, like trying to revolutionize? Do you feel like the Bible took that away from them, or they just preaching the Bible and not the liberation of the people? Do you feel like they're getting away? I want to get your opinion on that.
Most definitely, man. Man, for real. And I'm just being honest. I'm talking about, you know, some real life experience as far as that go. Like when COVID came, you know, they was pushing the shot. They was pushing that. And you know, you supposed to be standing at this point, you're supposed to be standing on my body, my choice. You're supposed to be standing on the separation of church and state. You see what I'm saying? They was letting people come up in the church and push that on them. You know, we need to do what they say. We need to do what they say. And you know, and see, these people got what I think one of the brothers kind of alluded to it as far as the 501c3. They got these tax exemptions, you see, by having churches and running churches. So they can take away their tax-free status if they speak on certain things politically. You see what I'm saying? So they don't really speak. They walk on ice. They walk on eggshells. You know, so to speak, when it comes to certain situations. As far as I'm talking about, like when people getting done wrong, our black people, our FBA people getting done wrong in these streets by the police and stuff like that. They don't really speak out about that. You see what I'm saying? That's another reason they was out there holding hands and praying with them and all that, and being compassionate toward these people that just unalive one of your baby. He didn't pull nothing out on them. You see what I'm saying? He was just running. You see what I'm saying? He might have broke the law. I think he jumped out of a stolen car, but he was just running. He didn't threaten the police or nothing like that. And they unalived him. You see what I'm saying? And so you got these people, instead of being upset about that, they holding hands with them. So yeah, I do think that, you know, that kind of, you know, that puts a block, you know, that puts like a little restraint on them as far as really standing on, you know, I'm not standing on business, but standing up against oppression. You know, they don't give much pushback. You know, they real quick to, well, come on, brother, let's pray about it. You know, or let's sit down. We want to have they want to have some kind of breakfast with them, and, you know, and introduce the kids to them and stuff like that. Yeah, so, you know, and the other brother that just finished speaking, look, man, I know it's something higher than us, you know. But once again, like I say, everything we know about a God, somebody told us. And it's a lot of stuff in that Bible. If God is so loving and God is so caring, he had people doing some foul stuff. He had Bathsheba doing some foul stuff. You see what I'm saying? He had some foul stuff going on. He had brothers sleeping with brother-in-law sleeping with the wife of the brother. You know, all of this kind of stuff. These was commands that God said, look, I'm telling you to go over there. God told him specifically, you go do this, you go do that. So, you know, that today, if we was to do that, you would say, no, I don't fool with that brother no more. You see what I'm saying? But
he gonna get you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you talking, but yeah, she's more church. I mean, understand the verses and stuff a lot. When you say, I know about free will and stuff like that, you're not about to tell me that God commanded you to commit sin. No, no. I understand what you're saying, but because I understand the free will, but I'm not gonna get into it like that. People that's really understand it and been through. I mean, it's all our opinions. We can't prove certain things like that.
No, that's not an opinion, sir. That's in the Bible. He
Okay, you
told
gonna
the
tell
man
me
to
what
sleep
God said?
with his
God said
brother's
that?
wife. He told that man to do that. He and he killed him because he spilled his seed on the ground instead of spilling his seed in the woman like he told him to impregnate her. The man had enough. He had more morals than God, basically, because he said, "I'm not going to do that." God seen him not obey what he said do, and he killed him. That's in the Bible. It ain't no way around it. It's not no opinion. That's a fact. It's a fact of the Bible. Bathsheba, he had David and Bathsheba. He had Bathsheba to sleep with the other man. God commanded that. It's in the Bible. And if my wife went in there asleep, I'll go in there and I'll go get it. Got it all wrote down. I don't already broke it down a couple of times. I'll go get the exact verses and all of that for you.
No,
But these
I
are
believe
direct
you.
commands from God to go do this.
Yeah, I
So
believe you.
yeah. I wouldn't tell you no lie, brother.
No, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no reason not to believe you. But yeah, it's all good. Boy, y'all went deep on this church stuff tonight, man. I was hoping you did some black stuff, talking about delineation and stuff. I'm like, man, yeah, the Bible, man, that's a rabbit hole. Politics and religion, it's a rabbit hole.
That's why they keep them separated.
I'm the lady in the corner. Yeah, she got some patience, like a mug over there. Is she still there? Or is that the camera or is that just? Oh no, she live.
Yeah, we.
But say, brother, look, one thing, brother. This is one thing that we got as FBA. That's what we got because some FBA is Muslims, some FBAs is Moors, some FBAs is Israelites. We got to put all of that religious stuff at the door. When we coming in to handle FBA business, we got to check. We got to leave all that stuff, all that religion. We got to leave all that at the door. And when we go in there, we got to get on code and find out what's the best thing and the best and what's the best way for us to move. It ain't got nothing to do with no religion. We leave all that religious stuff behind. When we come back out the door, you can pick that religion back up and go back to being whichever one you is. But when we handling FBA business, you can't say, well, I'm not going to deal with them because they Muslim. I'm not going to deal with them because they Christian or whatever. When all of us as black folks, we'll walk in the Asian people's store and go buy their products. Them people don't even believe in God. They Buddhists. But we'll spend our money with them. When we walk in the liquor store, these are Indian people. These are Arabs for the most part. Spend our money with them. They don't believe like us. They don't think like us. They don't put no money back in the hood. They don't put no money back in our communities. But we'll spend our money with them. But we'll turn right around another black brother. Like, no, I'm not dealing with him because he Baptist. I used to see. I told you I grew up in church. I'm a Koja kid. Man, these coaches, these Church of God in Christ, they would bang on Baptist people. They would bang on Methodist people. I was like, you know what I'm saying? We kids, we growing up. That one of them brothers was talking about what we seen as kids. This some stuff I seen as kids. I was like, wow. And these are people that's high officials in my church. You see what I'm saying? And I would be some places I wasn't supposed to be off in the room or something, listening to them. They were like, I don't fool with them Methodist folk. I don't fool with them Baptist folk. These other Christians. We supposed to all have the same God. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say, man, look, I'm gonna have my own personal relationship with the Most High, whoever up there. You know what I'm saying? It's me and him. I ain't letting nobody. I don't need no middleman. I don't need no Jamal Bryant or no TD Jakes to get me in contact with nobody. I can do it myself. But yeah, these other religions and stuff, we need that stuff at the door, man. When we handling FBA business. We on FBA business. We on lineage business. We on getting on code and doing what we got to do to get these reparations and the anti-black hate crime bill. You know, all that other stuff, man, all these guys and all that stuff, we'll go back to worshiping after we handle this business.
Straight up. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that now.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be blocking our brothers out because they got something else going on.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Man, I'm going to this is my brother, man. We actually graduated together. We graduated in the same class, but you know, and this dude, I'm talking about smart as a whip too. But I done been to hear him speak at the mosque, And man, he picks that Bible up. He preaching after Bible. He preaching about Jesus and God and all. This is a Muslim, and he preaching about Jesus and God. You remember 10 years ago when 15 years ago when they did the Malcolm X movie and all that stuff. We didn't see Farrakhan talking about Jesus all the time. They was on some other stuff. They was like, you worshiping the white Jesus, this and that. Now they be I guess what they feel like is they got to meet the people where they at. Whatever the mindset of the people is, the people who they talking to, they gotta be able to, and so I get it, but that's my boy. If he need me right now while I'm on this live with y'all, if he called me right now, I'm gonna get up and go see about it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm not finna put on no FOI stuff. I'm not finna walk around marching around with them and none of that. I ain't finna do all that.
Right. We ain't doing that.
Yeah. It's FBA first. We gotta be black first before we any of these religions and none of that stuff. That's my mindset.
That's your mind. Hey, man, look, I'm with you on that. Nicole B, what you think about that? What you think about how he's saying we FBA first? How you feel about somebody? I know you told us the story about the dude who was a Islam, he was African, right? How you feel about your brothers that they may be Islam, but they FBA, or they may be Catholic, they may be Christian? How do you feel like about them as far as they believe? Do you feel like we can hold something that's black B1 first, FBA first, or you feel like it'll be a problem with a religious person?
Yeah, you got to be able to meet people where they are. That's why I've been silent, and I've been just sitting here stomping, because I like to be in order, because I do respect men, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I had to learn. So I'm not going to talk over a man or try to disrespect anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say this. I don't care how we try to slice it, dice it, or chop it. Our ancestors, they had faith. We don't have to have it now because we're too sophisticated. We don't need God. We could do it on our own. But our ancestors had something that we have lost. And that was that they knew that they were outnumbered. They knew that they had to, when they would go out to march, they didn't know if they were going to come back home or not. But what made most of them come back home? Because before they left the door, they prayed. When churches were churches, and I believe, I don't subscribe, because like I said, if you go to Billy Graham's monument in Charlotte, North Carolina, you'll see the founders of the Methodist Church. You'll see the founder of the Baptist Church. You'll see the founder of the Presbyterian Church. So all of these churches were set up to separate us. But when we were together at the black churches during the civil rights movement and prior to, we came to church not only to worship and to praise, but we came to strategize. Now we have did the big migration. We're all over the place. We don't have a place where FBAs can actually come and talk. We can only say but so much online. So we don't have that place where I'm in South Carolina and this church, all the churches in this area are going to meet together, and then we're going to go over to Alabama next Sunday, and we all on one accord. We're strategically moving. We don't have no such thing like that anymore, and we have to be careful of what we say online. But I'm going to be FBA all day, regardless to what kind of belief system you have. But I do know this one thing, and I know it's going to be disputed. If we don't have the Most High
faith,
we could cancel everything else, because even those who don't believe or who have African and Egyptology and all this other stuff, they can say this one thing, and I've heard it from different podcasters who aren't really in the truth or anything like that. They can agree to this one thing, that we are in a spiritual warfare. And we're not going to be able to conquer anything, because if you think that these people are going to handily or kindly give us something after all the billions on top of billions of dollars that we've spent within 4 years on migrants, that could have been a swell down payment on reparations.
Right.
Those people who are fighting, who are going to these town hall meetings, fighting for us and talking and writing the right legislation to kick some of these people who shouldn't be included in these reparation bills, they're going to come at us at all sides. And if we
Okay.
don't have something stronger than just us, our being,
Right.
we could cancel it. We could cancel it.
Okay, I got a question. I got one more question for all y'all. I want y'all to we got 15 minutes. So listen. Harriet Tubman said she would have been able to release a lot of more slaves if they would have realized that they wasn't slaves, or if I think she said
If they
something
were
that,
slaves.
yeah, that they were slaves. Do you think the Bible, because I know y'all said, you and Black Boy Wonder did say the Bible, with white supremacy was able to, handle the Bible, to fool our people. Do you feel like the Bible had anything to do with what Harriet Tubman was saying with that point? Let me go to Black Boy Wonder. Black Boy Wonder.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe that.
You don't believe
personally.
that?
No,
Okay.
I think that they established a strong system of fear. I think that, like they're saying in the chat, Stockholm syndrome is a real thing, and I think that when you can alter the psychology, and you might think, well, yeah, well they use the Bible to do this, but I think that the Bible wasn't the byproduct of it. I don't believe that.
But didn't they have faith? Like they had to have some type of faith into the white supremacy system to want to stay. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I think this is the thing, right?
Go ahead.
I've listened to this kind of like a story, a short synopsis of the whole like psychology of slavery, right? And sum it down as quickly as I can. You have some BLK or some black people that are more concerned with having what the master wants or what the master has, and then you have some that are willing to relinquish what the master is offering. So you have the field black man, and then you have the house black man, so to speak. And I think that there were more that had the spirit of the house black man, more than those that wanted to see the house burn. They wanted to say, master, we sick, sort of thing. So yeah, no, I don't think it's the Bible.
You don't think it's the Bible? Okay. B1, man, how you feel about that, man? What Harriet said and the slaves. You feel like the Bible played a role into that? The sister was speaking about faith.
Right.
She was speaking about faith, and that's what a lot of people bring up. But I want to get your opinion on it.
Right. From my studies and from what I know about Harriet Tubman, she was a straight up rider. Now she might have read the Bible, or she might have went to church before. She might have been to a few prayer services or something. But when it was time for her to handle her business, she was on gangster.
Right.
And they say she had a pistol or some kind of gun. She had a gun. And she said the gun wasn't for it was for the white folks, but it was for these Negroes who got scared and got cold feet and was planning on going back. She was like, "No, you already with us now. I can't let you leave now, because if you leave now, you gonna tell Master then where we at. So you sit back down and sit your scary ass down over there, and and when I tell y'all, come on, get up, let's go on and move some more. That's what you do. You coming with us. Ain't no turning around. You see, so I don't feel like she used the Bible to be submissive or nothing, or to be passive or nothing like that. No, she was about her business. So she might have had the Bible in one hand, but she had that pistol in the other, and she knew when to pick the Bible up and put it down. You know what I'm saying? She might have had some.
I mean, the people she was talking about, like you said, the people that she was talking about that was indoctrinated. Do you feel like, that's what I mean? Not, I know she was a rider, but she was trying to save everybody, but she couldn't
Right.
save everybody because their mindset wasn't there. And
Oh yeah. Some people didn't want to leave that plantation. It's like that now. Come on, it's like that now.
right, it's like that
Some
right
people
now.
don't want to get off the plantation. That like brother said, I can't remember I can't remember what you said his name was, but shoot, he was like weed sick. We had that weed sick boss, weed tired boss. Some of us got that. I'm that Turner. I got, man. I'm telling you, I'm not the biggest. I'm not the strongest. But when I get my chance, Mouse gonna get this work. You know what I'm saying? I might. When I get my chance, shit, he getting his work. I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick this cotton today. Yeah, I'm gonna go do this today. I'm gonna do what you told me to do. I might even have to take a couple of whoopings. You know what I'm saying? But when I get my chance, yes, sir. Yes, it ain't that. If the plantation burned down or the big house burned down, I'm gonna pray for a win, like Malcolm X said. I'm gonna pray for a win to keep that fire going. Yeah, ain't no trying to help put it out. I'm gonna fake like I'm getting water, that bucket of water, but I'm gonna trip and fall and waste all the water before I get there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let that motherfucker burn, man. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just black. I'm for my people first. Nobody, and like I say, when I see this is my one point. I know you got to wrap it up. People been talking about the diaspora war. We not at war with Foundation of Black Americans is not at war with nobody, man. We just letting everybody handle their own candle, man. We done seen some stuff. We done seen some disrespect. Maybe they feel like they've been disrespected, but we only responding to the disrespect that we've been seeing for years and years. We've been turning the other cheek on that. Now we ain't just retaliating back, but we just saying, look, we done with it. We just okay, that's how it is. That's how people really feel about us. Well, we gonna sit down. We gonna sit down and chill. We just gonna mind our business. We gonna let the code be our leader over here. As far as how Neely Fuller broke it down. I don't know if you got Neely Fuller's book or whatever, but how he broke it down. We gonna be on code like this. So when the lady was speaking, look, we seen that like she was talking about the civil rights movement and stuff like that. And before them people left the house, they prayed, and when they came back, well, it was FBI agents amongst Martin Luther King. It was FBI agents amongst Malcolm X. It was agents and informants amongst Fred Hampton. So, we got the blueprint from them to know now we can't move like that no more. We can't be setting up big congregations. Hey, come on, we having this meeting about this, we having this meeting about that. No, we can't do that no more. We got to move different. We just got to let the code be the leader. We don't have to get together in big gatherings to do what she was talking about we need to be doing. We can just let the code be the leader. We can move on code and still be just as effective. Just how we did when we decided to sit on the couch and not vote for the Democrats because they didn't put nothing in place for us. So we said, okay, well, we're not going to support y'all. And enough of us made a big enough impact to where, hey, they crashed. They lost the Senate, the House, and the presidency. You see what I'm saying? So we moving on code now here in 2025, 2026. We don't have to just all be together, congregate in certain places or whatever. But it ain't no diaspora war. Let's be clear about that. FBA, we not at war with nobody. We ain't at war with nobody. So they can stop pushing that narrative. They can stop their projection, which we know they not. You see what I'm saying? They got to have some. Y'all hate us. Y'all just hating on us. No, we don't. We love everybody. If I see an African outside right now need some help with a flat tire, I'm gonna go help.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But nah, we just not on board with a lot of the stuff that's going on. We just delineate, man. But that's not to wish harm or hate on nobody else, man. We just doing that. We just gonna do us, and I'll leave it right. I'll land my plane with that.
Facts. Well, appreciate you, B1, man, holding me down for a minute. We got Mama Lisa. We're gonna let her get off. Then I'm gonna let y'all close it out. Everybody can say their piece and close it out. Mama Lisa, what's good? You know we love you.
Hey, I'm done, man. Peace to y'all. Peace to the chat. Much love to y'all. Love and light to y'all, ma'am. Much love to you too, sister. Much love to you. I love all of y'all.
Take it easy.
Love you too.
We love you too, babe. I'm just I'm sorry I'm late. I ain't gonna take up too much time that one God. I just come up to speak to everybody. And the young lady that was talking earlier, I can't see the names in the boxes. She's talking about the Lord there, and she gonna stand on, and explain the prayer and stuff. Now I'm gonna agree with everything she said. I love all y'all, and I'm gonna go on back down to the chat.
Yeah, we want people to listen, believe what you believe, and stand on it. We just want everybody to. The main goal we got out of this is we FBA first. We still, no matter what religion or what you believe, you still gotta come on common grounds, and we gotta, stand on business. Black Boy Wonder. Turn your mic on, man. Okay, your
Bro, I've
mic
been trying
on.
to sort this camera out for a good hour now.
You got it up and running, man. So, yeah, man, you've been holding, bro. You knew me since Sandbox. So what you think about, man, the show tonight, man? What you think, man? Close us up.
Yeah, I always try to, for people that don't know, I've known this guy like pretty much since we were kids, man. Like this guy's one of my closest partners in life. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to see you grow. You know what I'm saying? Seeing your channel grow, seeing your conversations get more intense and more people getting involved. Yeah, man, I try to catch you. I'm in the UK, so right now, literally, it's 6:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I hang up, I'm gonna knock off and go to sleep. But yeah, man, solid work. I agree with everything you're saying. We don't believe in everything together. Nobody does. But at the end of the day, it's B1 first. At the end of the day, it's Black people first. Like I believe what I believe, and I don't hold people to the fire, so to speak, when it comes to what they believe, especially if they Black, because at the end of the day, all other races, they seem to stand unified and they seem to thrive that way. So I think that's what matters the most. Whatever I believe is what I believe in. We'll end up seeing who believes what when it fruits, right? And that's that. But right now in the flesh, we gotta love each other and we gotta work together. That's a fact.
For real. That's facts, fam. Facts. Man, salute, bro. I appreciate you always tapping in. And you one of the only ones that really be tapping in for real. So like I be appreciating seeing you every time I see you. I be like, dang, everybody else knew, but
come on.
You day one. So man, I appreciate you, bro. But we got Nicole. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on the show and everything. How long you been following the channel, Nicole?
It's been a minute.
Oh,
it's been probably a year or so.
Wow, that's what's up. I know I've been seeing you.
Because I think then you used to be on Red Supreme. Did you used to tap into him?
No, I haven't, man. It's people shouting me out like Introvert Rockstar, Steady, a couple guys, but I never been on nobody's channel. I'm trying to get that though.
Okay. Well, I don't know how I linked up, with you or this channel or whatever, but I just want to say that I enjoyed the dialect this evening. I've been sitting in my car wasting my little cheap. Thank you, Trump, for my gas for my how much I paid? $2.36. I paid $2.36 per gallon for gas, so I could run it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been sitting here letting the car run and talking and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. And I just want to leave a thought. We have to understand, and you're free to believe in whatever. But our oppressors, I heard something today when these YT people were congregating and they were speaking against the Muslims, and they were like, white men need to come back to their white Christianity, and we're going to do. And see, that's the thing is with the Bible. Evidently, they skipped some parts, because if you read Daniel 7, it talks about who God really is, the color of him and his hair. Then if you go to Revelation 2 and 9, I think it's 1 and 14, it talks about Christ and how he looked, and he had hair just like me. So evidently throughout the generations, even on good times, Michael, when they had a picture of Black Jesus on good times and stuff like that. So there's been clues along the way. So to me, that's the greatest ancestor of all time. That's my opinion. But I'm gonna always ride for my people. I love my people passionately. And it's not something that I just say online. This is something I do in the streets. I used to feed people. And I'm talking about thousands of people. It was my job, but outside of my job, I still fed people. Even to this day, if I see somebody on the corner that's my people, I'm gonna make sure that they straight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. I'm even if I don't have anything to give anybody, I'm gonna speak a word over their life because I don't know what my brother and sister may be going through. So I'm always going to be for my people. Always, you know what I'm saying? Whether we agree, because we can still work together, even if you have different beliefs, we can still work all together. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like, a lot of questions that we have, especially when it comes down to how did, Negroid people get over here to America and stuff, those questions have been answered. It's just, are we willing to accept the answer? And I'll land my plane. Thank you for having me on your panel.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. 2 cents, man. What you got for us for today?
All right, yeah, I'm close you out with this one, man, right here, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, I respect everybody on the panel, what they say, what they think, and like I said, it's coming from experience and intelligence at this point in time. So when I speak now, I don't speak like my 25-year-old self or my 30-year-old self, and it's just like you retraining your mind on things that goes on. I mean, people are free to believe what they believe. I could sit there and argue all day and go back and forth. Man, there's so many religions. You know how many people I done ran into to try to make me a Buddhist, a Jehovah's Witness, and all these kind of different things, and a Mormon. I've already went through that. See, but what I can't do is run the interference on the younger generation and try to help them be better. See, that's why a lot of people, we don't like what they call quote unquote tethers. You don't have to really help us, but don't hurt us. And a lot of them, that's their mission, is to hurt and, extract resources and stuff like that. So you have to be careful who you're dealing with. So each time I talk now, I know I'm fine. I got my wife right here. Life is good. I got money coming in. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's not that. So you want to see somebody that's very noble. They got everything, but they still willing to go help someone else out individually. I ain't talking about donate no charity, because rich people, they donate charity to each other and swap it out. They playing with you, playing in your face. So God knows what you do. He's seen what you do, and you know how you feel about the rich and the wealthy. I don't go to sleep thinking about being a billionaire. I would feel like a crummy individual if I became a billionaire, to be honest with you, because there's no way I would keep all that money. No way, but someone would try to hurt me or take me out, that type of deal, because I know I was going to help someone. But you had an interesting show, but like I said, man, that religion and politics, that's why they keep it out the job. It's kind of iffy. But yeah, when we talking about FBA, different races and stuff like that, we don't really do sports over here like that. But I can talk on that because one thing I do care about, I care about people. And a lot of people that I just was raised that way. I'm not going to step on you. If that's what you believe you are and what you do, unless you're a child and somebody's trying to groom you into something silly. As an adult, you can only suggest to an adult. You can tell a child what to do. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Facts. Shout out to Brad's put Malcolm X said, what you have, you should want your brother to have. So I believe in that, man. Whatever it is that you got. So sports, man. I'm kind of on this political, FBA vibe, trying to get the resources back to us right now. So that's the angle I'm at. But I can talk on anything, to be real. But man, I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. Black Boy Wonder, it feel crazy me calling you that. I be about to call you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that though, but man, y'all, I'm gonna be on here Sunday, man. I don't know about Saturday, but Sunday I'm gonna have a big show, man. Just speaking on birthright citizenship and getting more work in for the culture. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Love y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out, and y'all tap in on Sunday. Salute, love, love.